It's probably good enough to go into this. Welcome to Talk of the Tavern. A little about us. We're your at-home interactive weekly GeekCon, all blended with wit, sarcasm, and a pub-like atmosphere. We're adults talking about adult topics and using adult language. We laugh and make jokes about almost everything. We don't intend to upset, but some folks have their feelings hurt easily. This is all done in humor in the style of the great offenders such as George Carlin, Red Fox, Lenny Bruce, Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, Wanda Sykes, Sam Kinison, George Lopez, Lisa Lampanelli, Chris Rock, and others. So grab your vice of choice, sit back, relax, and get ready to enjoy yourself in the company of great people, hot toddies, and guests alike, because here we come.
Put that long day behind you. Good times lie ahead. With company worth keeping, that'll bash a smile on your head. Come on in, the door's open. You'll find just the finest folks here. Pull up a chair, grab a drink, and lend our stories your ear. Cause we're the talk the tavern. Here you're always welcome. The talk the tavern. Promising beer and bedlam. The talk the tavern. Music, medicine, then some. The talk the tavern. The song's over. Here we come.
I feel like the Nick Fury Deadshot type Talk of the Tavern guy. Oh, okay. I guess I need to do intros, right? So, welcome to May 2nd's Talk of the Tavern. Middle-aged Geekery. Mo's not middle-aged, but we brought Mo along.
We're the middle-aged. Mo is the
are.
Geekery, so it's...
We are. We used to be Dark Ages, but
The sun came up.
yeah, I'm totally fucking white. I can't even make like I stopped tanning joke. Let's see. Do we have anybody here yet? My whole Twitch thing is resetting right now. It's just a Googleplex of mess. Hey,
Yeah, it is.
you guys want some intros? You ready?
Who are you? Yeah.
I'm gonna start with you. I always end with me. I'll start with her. Ready? It's Andrea.
Hi. Coffee? And coffee? For now.
Is that all you got? Can I move on?
Yeah, I've taken too much of your time. Thanks for listening.
Oh, you're still doing it. Okay, now speaking of things that take up my time, I don't even know what that means. It's the headache. It's Mo!
Hello! My voice is cracking all over the place today. I'm going to be drinking Pepsi.
With real sugar.
Because I need caffeine. With real sugar, because that's the only kind of stuff we have in our house.
It's best.
The best kind.
We've got like 4 cases of it, because my dad's like, you don't have any, and went and bought it all, because it was on sale.
Ooh.
So we have a lot of it right now. We won't by the end of the week. And I'm doodling over here,
what do
so...
you do? Wait, hold it. Wait. Okay.
You can't see that. That's only for the Patreon.
So is that like a tablet that
You owe me $1 now.
So is that like a finger touch paint thing?
Yes, but I use a stylus with it, so...
Okay.
That's how I do all my art, basically. Anything digital is done on the tablet right now.
Let me ask you this. Is there any chance during the show you can draw like Andrea and I with the Talk of the Tavern sign behind us?
I could.
But will you?
Translation is
Will
I'm
it
not
happen?
gonna.
Yeah.
Fuck,
I
I did
can
that
be
one.
sure. Yes, I will do that today.
You'll see the top of Mo's head through the whole show.
Yeah,
'cause
it's
that's how they
smart.
draw.
How many hairs you can see while I'm doodling.
Your hair looks great today, by the way.
Thank you.
Good. See, that's a different answer than what I got earlier when I said it.
It's a wave. It's like it's coiffed.
Well, I think it goes really well with the shirt, because the shirt is kind of retro 1950s feel, but very modern, and the hair is the same thing. So the two together actually go very well.
I just consider this like beach surfer chic.
It has.
Well, there you go.
It has a style that you don't see on everybody walking down the street, so it pops a little.
Thank you. I like to think I have my own style. Most people just think it's a peculiar air about me.
Oh.
But that's all right.
Probably because you had cheese.
Well, that's not good.
You guys are like the only people that had to deal with me after I ate cheese outside of my family because of that burger.
Because we're like family.
I thought we were family.
We are family. Once you share a hotel room with people.
Nope. Well, that explains why I don't talk to most of them afterwards, because they're like family.
Yes.
It's.
You talk to me.
I do. And your mother.
You're the exception.
It's yeah, you kind of are.
Everyone at my work thought y'all were my parents. It's okay.
Oh, that's so great.
Because I put the Christmas card up. I was like, I'm going to be an adult and put the Christmas card with the picture of y'all. And everyone came by and they're like, oh, are those your parents? I'm like, yeah, we'll go with it. They look about the same.
I'm like,
we're kind of like the con parents.
Yeah.
We're ex-con. I'm going to turn my volume up a little. There we go. Okay. Today's show, when we... Oh, you know what? See, I got to write this down. Hold on a second. I'm taking a break.
Oh, we'll wait.
You're taking a break?
Show name on Twitch. You see, as I'm trying to get a system down, Mo, I'm realizing there's certain things I need to go over with guests. And I had that list, and it was pretty good and pretty complete. But then I realized I need a list for me. Because though I only have to do 2 or 3 things after spending 5 to 50 minutes with a guest getting them straight, I forget to do things like... You're not on Twitch right this second looking at the screen, are you?
I'm not.
Okay, if you were, you would see the show title is Talk of the Tavern, Tuesday, Electro Swing, May 1st. And that is not the name right now. We have moved forward to... Wednesday. What?
And I don't notice it until we're on air. I'm like, hey.
Middle-aged
Messaging them.
Geekery.
Mine isn't up because otherwise my computer would probably crash again. That's probably why it did what it did earlier.
We understand. It's our internet.
Otherwise, I'd give myself $1 in bits.
I'll give you $1.
You just stick it in your thong if you want.
Pull the thong out of the drawer. Put $1 in it.
It'd be like a sling thong.
I don't even have anything that looks like that I could hold up.
You got a wire behind you. Just hold up a wire. It's like, there's my thong.
That's about the same.
Right behind you in the drawer. See, there's your thong.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to know
It's
where
about
the
the
plug
same.
goes.
In my phone.
Is that what you like to call?
Yes.
I'm stuck.
How else do they make booty calls?
Ooh, well done. Yes.
That's good.
This is my. I know you don't care because we're not supposed to have stuff in the background, but this is like the old electronics drawer in our house. So it's full of old electronics that I've been trying to like pawn off because not even Amazon will give me money for them anymore.
I have a tub underneath my desk here that I rest my feet on, and it's full of old electronics. You know, the wires and the cables. I've got coax, and I've got actually telephone cords still in there. And, yeah, I just...
Did you just stick your feet in it?
No, I just really realized it doesn't matter.
It does matter! I've got all kinds of old cell phones. There's littered around.
Is it the old brick phone, like from the 80s?
No, my dad finally got rid of that. He still has a Walkman, though, because he likes to use that.
Yeah, well, those are awesome.
Exactly.
And they're coming back, so...
He just upgraded to, like, a real phone. I don't say a smartphone, whatever, like, the phone everybody else is using with, like, the touch screen and everything.
What do you have?
And then we go to
a BlackBerry or something?
No. You know Tony's phone in Infinity War, or have you seen it yet?
Have not seen Infinity War. Thanks for rubbing that in.
You're welcome.
That's okay.
I have.
The other
He's
night,
using a flip phone, and it's exactly the phone my dad used to have, and he's like,
look, I'm stylish. No, you're not. What? No, you're not.
It's the ruggedized flip phone. And I was like, oh, look, you have the same tone. No, you don't. You changed. You're no longer as cool as Tony Stark. It was great. Anyway, I'm sorry. You haven't introduced yourself yet.
Oh, me. I'm Travis.
We've been waiting.
I've got a cigar, I've got coffee, I've got brandy, which I wasn't going to drink brandy, but I think maybe I want one. See, I've got a wee smidge of a headache, and I find if I take whatever medication I'm going to take for it, but then a spot of whiskey or brandy, which helps expand the capillaries, everything kind of gets better quicker. So, oh look, there's mod. I'm finding mod tools. Let's put mod icons.
Oh.
We don't want slow mode. Show moderation actions. Do I want to show those?
Maybe. I don't know.
So I mean I got followers only chat because I feel like if you're going to chat with us, you should at least follow the damn channel. It's only fair.
Yeah.
And in about half past, I want to go over that, by the way. And that way, you know how some people will show up and they're like, oh, I just figured out how to get here, but I can't type to you. So you don't know. I just figured out how to get here. Yeah. So that's that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's exciting. Okay, so yeah, I'm Travis.
It is.
I'm your host, and we have 2 people watching now. I think it's us.
Hi, everybody. Did we mention what today's show is?
Social media education, as in educating yourself on social media. Like, what the fuck is a hashtag? And why do I use it? Interesting. See, I
because
paused.
All the cool kids are.
Well, there's more to it than that, though, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's more to it than that. Wow, I showed the chat things. Now I can, like, totally moderate you without clicking on your name. It's yeah, it's, and if we want to get into it, I mean, do we want to talk about, you know what? I don't know, Mo. I should have asked you this before, but just so everybody watching knows, Mo is a good friend of ours. We created a card game together. We've wrote books together. We've hung out at cons together. So all in all, we apparently get along and like each other. And this same goes for Mo's mother, blah, blah, blah. So
That's not really her name.
Her mother?
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, no, that's not her mother's name. There's sometimes when she won't stop. Never mind. At least I said instead of you, right, Mo?
Sure.
You're going to tell on me, aren't you? I'm going to be in trouble.
No, I'll just like anonymously drop a link to the video in my mom's.
With a timestamp?
Yeah. Just be like, watch this moment.
Check out 12 minutes, 12 seconds. Have a good time. Bye-bye now.
Oh, thanks. I didn't actually know what time it was. I'm
welcome.
writing it down.
Any attention from your mother is good attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I've dealt with her attention for a long time.
Well, at least a couple decades. I mean, not consecutively. There were times she was in the bathroom or something. So recently, your grandmother passed, and now did your mother show you the card we sent?
Yes, it was the oh shit card, right?
On the front of the card, it's got a
oh my god, you're going to tell everybody?
It's got a pregnancy test. A picture of the stick of a pregnancy test that's positive. And it might say oh shit on the front.
It does.
But then when you open it up, Andrea had handwritten in there, because it was blank inside, Andrea had handwritten in there, at least it wasn't that. So, and then like Tara, Mo's mother, didn't talk to us or message us for a week or two, and we're like, fuck, You might have pissed her
Oh
off
my
with that one.
Does she hate me?
No, she thought it was great.
That's what she said. I did message her going, making sure we didn't offend, because we have certain friends that we can do that stuff with. And those are the friends we...
And
Mhm.
at this point in your life with certain events, you're not trying to bombard, and because you have enough people that are doing that right now. So
Yes.
1 to 3 weeks after an event like this, people are like piranhas, and it's, piranhas that kill you with kindness, but it's still kind of like, oh my God, back up. Give me a moment here.
That's why we didn't have a funeral.
Yeah.
Or anything. We were just like, it's just a big party of people being sorry for you. I mean, there's this idea that you're like celebrating the person, but nobody's doing that. They're all feeling sorry for you. So we were like, nah.
When I go, I want to have a roast. When I'm dead, I would love for a group of people to gather around and just...
I'll bring corn.
Well, the comedic type of roast where people make fun of you.
Okay. I just figured we were roasting your body.
So I'll probably be cremated. You could have some ashy soup. After science takes whatever they want, we want that weird face. Put that on the wall. Whatever.
Oh, I think of his repo where
tattoos.
What's
like,
that? Yeah,
you can get your tattoos removed and everything, and then you can like get them tanned and then framed. I did not know that until recently.
Oh, yeah.
There's some people that make lampshades out of them.
Some people just rub the lotion on the skin and then put the lotion in the basket.
That's true too. But yeah, I would love to have a comedic roast when I'm dead, just so everybody can A, get together in my memory, and B, laugh and have a good time and camaraderie. That's what I want when I'm alive too, minus the ash, me being a pile of ash.
Well,
I want to be buried as like one of those tree pods.
Oh yeah.
We had one of those really fun family discussions. My dad did not want to be a part of it, but we forced him to be a part of it, where we all talked about what happens after we die, so everybody knows. And mine was, I want to be one of those tree pods, but not like the expensive ones. There's ones where they actually take your body and do it, and then there's ones where they take your ash and do it. And I'm like, well, the ash is actually cheaper, so I'd rather do it that way.
Yeah, I've seen those. You can order one now, and then they can just dump you in and plant you.
And then you get to pick what kind of tree you become. I mean, I know I don't become a tree, but...
Sure.
Whatever.
I think this should be a natural discussion that people have without embarrassment or awkwardness, because death is a part of life. It's going to happen to everyone.
What makes life a thing?
You know what? It's what makes life matter, because it ends.
Well, you could be turned into a diamond.
Yes.
That brings a whole new meaning to family jewels.
Exactly.
See?
That's what I tell people.
We did a whole episode of putting fun back in funeral, thinking inside the box. Whole 3-hour episode on what we want when we die. And
we talked about stuff like this, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Why wouldn't you talk about this stuff and have a good laugh at your own or another loved one's expense while you're still alive?
Well, see, I don't understand, just like with a wedding, why go into debt just to put someone in the ground?
When my buddy Jeff died and I had to take care of it, cremation cost thousands of dollars. It was like $3,000 or $4,000. No, that was in New York. So maybe it's more expensive there than here. Maybe here, just a hillbilly track in your backyard, let the pigs go at you and burn the rest. I don't know.
Yeah, wow.
We'll do it for a 12-pack of Milwaukee's Best. I don't know what accent that was.
We actually found out that my grandmother talked about it more with me than anybody else. When we went into the cremation place. Because my mom was like, I don't know. I knew she wanted to be cremated. I know she wanted some of her ashes thrown at sea, a very small amount, and the rest of her to be buried at the family plot. But that was what she knew. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I knew that. And Nana told me not to spend money on a stupid wooden box. Just do her in a cardboard one, because that's the lowest option.
Right. Do they let you do that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
You have to buy the cardboard box.
Yes.
Well,
very
can you
specific.
keep the one from the refrigerator and then just use that?
Nope.
I
Good
tried.
question, though.
I got to keep a bunch of stuff from my grandma though, because I have that religion degree, minor, whatever you want to call it. I went and I have her teeth because if she haunts something, that's going to be what she haunts.
You watch too much Supernatural.
That's what I was going to say. By religion degree, you mean you watched all 12 seasons of Supernatural, don't you?
Well, that, and then also in Buddhism, when you burn a body, whatever's left is considered to have like the essence of the person in it. And so when she was cremated, the main thing that was left, because she didn't really have any teeth, I kept her like plate.
Oh, okay.
And so she didn't have any teeth left afterwards because I asked them to kind of find those if she had any because they were very brittle and everything anyway.
Right.
But I got her 2 of the screws from her leg because she had a metal plate in her leg. So I got those. And then I'm also getting a little, like, it's not like a diamond, but it's a piece of jewelry made of epoxy with a bit of the ashes inside of it.
Okay.
So I'm getting that.
I can't find it right now, but I have a gargoyle, and around it is a little vial necklace that has the ashes of my cat.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We just have boxes with ashes of our dogs in it. The smaller the dog, the bigger the box, it turns out.
Right?
I had a chihuahua. Don't sit on that. It's not a couch.
This big.
Well, we had like a 170-pound dog, and the box is like a little tin, tiny. It's a tiny little tin, and then we had the 100-pound dog, same kind of dog, just she was much smaller, and so we have a huge wooden box for her with like carvings and her name plaque and all of this, and it was just that they changed who they went to for their pet cremations. So you got a wooden box with all of this intricacy versus a tin that you just kind of have to remember what dog's in which.
Don't mix it up with the coffee.
I don't. They're very floral. We don't keep floral things in the kitchen. They're all on the mantle. But now it's really weird because Nana's looks just like the dog one looks more intricate than Nana's.
They do say the longer you have a pet, the more you look like it. So now, I guess, there you go.
I'm not going to say what I was going to
everybody.
I was like, you mean I'm going to look like my grandmother?
If you get cremated, yes. You will.
Oh my goodness.
I won't be able to tell you apart. I'll tell you that much.
I hope I smell different because she ate a lot of meat. I'm sure she smells like barbecue or something in there. And like, I don't eat a lot of meat. I mean, I'm going to be meat. But
you
like,
are meat. Have you ever smelled a burning person?
Then I don't want to smell like grease or fat. I'm going to be nice and lean.
Have you been sniffing your grandmother's ashes?
Oh.
Go like this.
I've been snorting them. No. I mean...
I know. Wow.
Anyhow.
Right.
Great.
So just basically, you doing okay?
Me?
Yeah, with everything that's going on. You doing all right? That's an acceptable answer right there. We're good with that.
Dealing with us, some people.
Dealing with y'all is great. It's dealing with other people.
Huh?
Like, I don't want to leave my house. I haven't left my house in like 3 days. It's been great.
Oh.
I opened the doors, though, for the cats.
Hasn't it been yet? Wasn't yesterday beautiful? Did you look outside yesterday at all?
Yes. I opened 2 doors for the cats yesterday.
The front door and the bathroom door. What it did while I was in there.
Oh, it's the side door and the front door.
So they could walk in one, immediately out the other.
So my cat, we weren't sure if he was going to be stuck in the tree, but he saw a crow and he went after it. And so he had never left like the front porch or the side porch, depending on which door he went out. Buddha goes all over the place and comes back, but Gatsby goes out, sits on the porch and's like, am I supposed to be out? And then like As soon as there's a noise inside, he runs back in. But there was a bird he either really liked or really didn't like, and he shot off after it, halfway up a tree, and then he realized he was in a tree near the road, and he doesn't like the road because of cars. And he looks back at me, and he looks at Buddha, and he looks at me, and Buddha's looking at me like, your idiot cat's up a tree. Because she's just over this cat, honestly. And then he jumps down, takes off for the side of the house, and suddenly he's up behind me at my ear because he went through the house and back up behind me through the other door. And I was just like, you found out the doors lead to the same place. Has your life changed? And now he'll actually go out, walk to the other door, and come in. Like, it's a circle now. Waiting until we can open up the back door, too, and then see what happens.
Well, you got to remove that plug you showed us earlier first.
Okay.
From the back door.
I know, but it's removed already.
Booty call. That was a great pun.
I was good.
It was good. Okay, let's get on to the topic. It's enough of the intro. Just so you remember, you're welcome here, and you're welcome to join in, whether it's on camera or off, as a place to go, where obviously we're going to talk to you about uncomfortable shit, but we do it with love and make you laugh about it a little. I'm done. Moving on.
Okay, today's topic is social media.
Educating ourselves on social media. Okay, so I'm going to ramble just for a second here, guys,
All
and
right.
then I'll let everybody jump in. First of all, if you are watching the show and you're wondering how to comment, you have to sign up for Twitch. Twitch will send you an email, which you then need to confirm your email address by going to the email, clicking, going back to Twitch that way. Once you're on the show, to actually chat, you have to follow the show. It will not let you chat in the chat box if you don't follow the show. Also, if you're on Twitch Prime, which is attaching Amazon to your Twitch account, subscribe to our channel. It throws us a couple bucks and costs you absolutely nothing. That being said, I'd like to encourage you to subscribe. I'd like you to buy us a cup of coffee. A single cup of coffee costs about $5 now. Same as subscribing. So I don't think we actually have anybody watching, but I like to pretend we.
But it'll last the whole month.
That's true.
As opposed to that one time for a cup of coffee. You get to enjoy us 4 times a week.
Yeah, 16 times a month minimum. Which, if you want to buy Andrea and I both a cup of coffee, there's a $10 level too. Or a $25 level if you really want to just buy the whole crew. So, yeah, think about it. What would you pay for that? Andrea?
Also, if you look underneath our video, there is a Patreon. Our Patreon's there, right?
Oh, you got to scroll all the way down. But yes, it's there. It's there.
But it's in there, so if you want to help out a little more than just subscribing, you can throw $1 a month to our Patreon.
And I want to let you know how the Patreon goes, guys. It helps. It truly helps. With the Kickstarter followed by Patreon, we now have the equipment to do a traveling show. Not necessarily to a large crowd. That's the next goal. But I have to go adjust the Patreon page where you see, I'll buy a soundboard and mics and all this. We have all that now. And also,
and if you go through all of the trouble of making a Patreon account and attaching a lovely credit card to it or debit card, and you follow and give money to them, you could also think about giving money to me just on the side, on the down low.
Well, actually, Mo has their own Patreon also, and Mo, in you said June 1st, right? Is when you're
June 1st.
Mo has a Kickstarter coming up. That whole grandmother thing, there was a reason we discussed that. Mo has a Kickstarter coming out where they're doing a graphic novel. You know what? I'm going to let you explain it because I'm going to mess it up and forget something. So why don't you tell us a little bit of why? And don't go on 20 minutes. We don't want to listen that long.
I know.
Go on 5 minutes.
So my Kickstarter is for a graphic novel called Dementia. Yes, that's a play on the word dementia. My grandmother died from complications of lymphoma in the brain, dementia, Alzheimer's. She was certifiably insane at the end, although most of her life you'd think it.
I was thinking it runs in the family.
I think that a lot. But she, we didn't do a whole lot for her once she passed, as you now know, because she wasn't really a big flashy person. But when all of this started, I was in 10th grade, and I had no clue about any of this stuff. I was just sort of like, it was one of those adult discussions that wasn't something that I knew at that age, so it was brand new to me. In fact, they didn't tell me she had cancer until like 4 months after everybody else knew.
Should
one of those things that it
an
was
adult conversation?
No, that's what dementia is about.
So,
dementia is a graphic novel, and it's supposed to make the discussion approachable for anybody from any age. And it's about Lee, who is a character whose grandmother, yes, very much so based on myself and my grandmother, but is a character who is going to the nursing home and visiting their grandmother who has these either dementia or Alzheimer's or both, somewhere in between. But the idea of what that looks like to a younger person, someone who either hasn't dealt with that or how it looks to someone who has never had to deal with something like that before. And the idea is it's pretty pictures, it's bright colors, and it means you want to look at it, but it's also one of those topics that everyone wants to close their eyes and look the other way.
You know, one of the scariest movies for me was A Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe.
I have not seen that.
It's an interesting enough movie, but the concept is he's a genius of some level, and he starts to help with the war effort, decoding stuff, etc. But as the movie progresses and the war ends, you realize he's losing his mind. He's going insane. And he doesn't realize it. He's just seeing reality different from everybody else, and he thinks everybody is. This concept is terrifying to me. Because, hey, let's just face it, I'm a genius. And I see reality a little different from most people anyway. So to have the people closest to you coming up going, no, that's not what this world really looks like, or how people act, or you're broken in your head. How terrifying must that be when I've never relied on my good looks. I've always relied on my wit. So to have that, the very thing that for me identifies me. Yeah, it's a deep subject, and that's why I asked, is it something you bring to kids? And if so, how old? Do you start at 4 years old where they understand that people think? Or do you wait till they're in pubescent? When do you do that?
I had the luxury. Again, it wasn't something that we talked about. I just had the experience, if that makes any sense. Because my great-grandmother had Alzheimer's. Great-grandmother. And so she passed away when I was in 9th grade. And we would go see, yes?
Your great-grandmother on which side? On your mother's side?
My father's side.
Okay. Okay, go on.
Great-grandmother on my mother's side is the one that my mom thinks is like I'm the reincarnation of, because she died right before I was born and weird stuff.
Okay.
It's fun subject.
I just asked because, if there is, now of course one person creates a family history of this.
Yeah.
But if your mother's mother and your mother's grandmother both had dementia, that would be...
Oh, they did.
Okay, that might be creating some anxiety in your mother, because we hit the certain age of mortality steamrolls over us as we start to lose our elders, one generation above us, or our friends, our peers that we speak to as equals every day. Suddenly they start dropping off. It creates a psychological bump in your life that you're like, oh, fuck. See, people would say, "Oh, this is kind of your first adult experience with." It affects us all, no
I
matter what
lost
age.
my best friend to
Hide and seek.
brain cancer
Oh,
when she was 20. So,
see, and
and
you
I was
don't.
19.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. We were just getting to kind of
It was
know each other
sad.
at that point in time. Yeah.
And then I left for like 4 months. I went to Britain after that.
Yeah, well, talk about a great escape from your reality, huh?
Exactly. It was really weird though because people would be like, "So, they would ask me something. I'm like, "Oh, my so my best friend died right before I came." But that friend used to like it was a very strange topic to try to bring up to people. But there was this craze when I was in high school for Fault in Our Stars when that came out. The book and then the movie.
Right.
And everybody's like, "It's so sad. You'll cry through it." La da 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 da. They don't really say that, but you know what I mean.
Sure.
But I read it, and it's about a girl with brain cancer, and then it's about another girl, like a background character is a girl who's has a different sort of cancer, but it's causing changes in her personality. And then you have another kid with cancer in his leg, and the thing is, those three things together was my best friend at the time. And my grandmother, my Nana, the one that just recently passed. So it was one of those things where I read the whole thing and didn't cry at all. And of course, I felt like I was like, "Am I a psychopath?" Like for a while, I was like, "Or sociopath? Is there some disconnect?" And then finally, I was talking with my best friend's mom, Tanya, and she was like, "Oh no, I didn't cry at all either, because we've already dealt with those emotions. Those aren't new to us."
Correct.
So I was like, "Oh, okay."
See, I'm
not crazy.
I take like the psychopath and sociopath tests, and I'm like, oh, how do I, like, bottom of the barrel, like so far away from whatever. And I realize they're just junk online tests, but still. And it's because a lot of the things that they don't deal with in their head, I have, they being normal people, regular people, I have dealt with in my head. Whether I've experienced it or not, I have gone through it and made the conscious choice to go in this direction instead of, the sociopath, psychopath direction. And I'm guessing that you just have that level of intelligence and creativity blended with that math ability and logic. So you're just well balanced. And I've always told people, don't be afraid of your dark side. Get to know it, because it's a tool that you can use. You just don't want it to dominate. Just like being too nice can be bad for your health because people fucking walk all over you, take advantage of you. You put yourself in harmful situations and abusive relationships. So, learn the middle ground. Now
I get worried for people
you're
in my life.
You're what? Fur people?
That they're too nice. That they're on the too nice side of it.
Uh-huh.
I get so worried.
Yeah, about you or about other people being too nice?
Other people. I don't really worry about myself because, like, I guess there's just a lack of objectivity there because a lot of people like, "You're so nice," and then I'm like, "You don't know."
Yeah,
you don't know what happens when I go and I close the doors and I'm like, "Well, bitches."
Right. And that's because you're balanced. You're also smart enough not to show the wrong kind of crazy in public. But it doesn't mean you don't have it. You just understand it's a tool. It's part of your package, and if you work with it, it's only helpful. It's not harmful. It's kind of like nuclear technology. We can blow up the world or give it all energy. That's what
my dad is so pissed over nuclear energy. My dad is so pissed over nuclear energy.
That we're not using it?
That we're not using it. He was like, "When I was 10, they told me I'd have a box with a little nuclear fusion inside that would power my life." If you get him started on the topic, he'll go on about that stupid box that was supposed to, like, you put it in your car and then you go and fly in your car because it's a flying car. And then you take it out and you plug it into your house and your house turns on and da-da-da.
I'm your father's age, and I don't remember being told this one.
My dad also lived in, like, the Washington, D.C. metro area.
I grew up in South Florida. We're dealing with boats of Haitians and Cubans showing up. But we had good cigars. Not that I smoked back then. But I'd love to hear this, because it sounds like a great concept. A little box, a power box. Got 4 of them in your house. You drop one in your car and drive. That's good stuff. I like
Yeah,
that.
nuclear power.
I'll write that shit down for one of my books.
Oh, it's a thing. You can definitely. I keep telling him to write like a short story about it. Just him ranting about how it isn't. Like him be like, if I had a little black box with a fission and reaction in it, and then write like a paragraph of what it could do, but in a story form. And he's like, this work. And I'm like, and that's why you're not a writer.
That's right. Because it is work, and I still don't think of myself as a writer because I have all these ideas and concepts to go with, and I love them and I want to write them, but then
I'm a reader.
Yeah. Anyhow, okay. Graphic novel, June 1st, Kickstarter coming out. Patreon available now. So if you go support me on Patreon, to go back to 20 minutes ago when we segued, you can also support Mo. Mo, did you? I know you're not on Twitch right now. Do you have a list of your social media links? Hold on. Finger waggle coming. Now, Mo, you knew we were going to talk about social media and you don't have a list of your links?
To tell everybody so they can find you and give you money? Come on, Mo.
See, that's pretty good. But where's
All
your,
right.
if you're going to be talking with authority about Tumblr, where's your Tumblr link?
Turn it over.
I wish I had it on the back.
Uh-huh.
I got this.
Hey, Andrea, do you have all of our links too? Do you have our Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn stuff?
Me?
Yeah.
Of course.
See, look at how she lies about being, how she's so prepared.
Of course I have all of that because I've been posting on it.
I know. It's so yeah, today we're going to discuss our favorite. There you go. What the fuck is Fear the Orphans?
Oh, Phantom.
Oh.
What's an phantom?
It's a type of angel.
Oh.
That's like my fandom one. I actually have like 12 Tumblrs because I have this thing where my fandoms can't touch each other. Like I put the knife between them and the peas are on one side and the mashed potatoes are on the other with my fandoms. So I actually have like 13 regularly updated Tumblrs because it just depends on which fandom I'm in that day. Because it's a mindset thing. But those are the 2 main ones. Good.
Since we're talking about social media and Tumblr, what is Tumblr?
Tumblr is...
It's a blog.
Strange. It's a blog, but actually, more so than not, it is more of a social network tool. Because while you're making posts about yourself, you're really not. You're making posts about whatever show you like or whatever thing you do. Which is like a blog, but it doesn't feel like a blog. It doesn't feel like one of those old crusty blogs that like my mother runs over on WordPress.
Tumblr, so that's a blog because I know Instagram is photos.
Yes.
So that's a blog, and I know Twitter's just a short little headline.
Let me do this for everyone.
Okay.
Social media is defined as websites and applications that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. So that's a broad spectrum umbrella term. Now, a lot of the ones we're going to discuss, Tumblr started out as a blog. It has branched out since then to do here's photos, here's links, etc., etc. Facebook,
and more likely than not, you use it for photos.
Because that's where the generation. Yeah, the whole generation has moved, and that's not your generation, my generation, just social media generation has moved towards visual mediums. And they started to go over into videos a lot, backing it back to pictures because a lot of us can't watch a fucking video while doing work or whatever. Facebook originally started out as, just like Twitter, text only. Facebook then branched out into, let's add pictures, let's add more words, let's not put a limit on the words, let's add a messenger service, and now they're where they are. Patreon that we described earlier is basically social media built around the concept of financially supporting an artist or creative person of some type, whether it's
like tipping.
Exactly, or even what is it what they used to call it when you would have somebody that would support an artist? It was called, like, you were their patron, the patron of the artist. So this is Patreon.
Where you get patrons.
Right, and whether you're a writer, video maker, YouTuber, etc., Patreon is one way to do this. Just one way, not the only way. Instagram started as instant photographs, like a telegram.
Like a Polaroid picture.
Right. And that was a concept. They later added words, but they always had, here's a picture, and you can throw a different filter on it. They've expanded since then. Twitter, as we already mentioned, originally 120 characters, moved to 144, and I think they just upped it again a couple months ago. And now you can add videos, pictures, etc. LinkedIn, social media for your work. So Google Plus, essentially a pale shadow of Facebook that they hoped would catch on and compete, but failed miserably because they had one huge glitch about a year after they brought it out. Pinterest, pinning websites and photos. By pinning, it just means saving them to folders you create within their website. YouTube, video social media. VK.com, the Russian equivalent of Facebook. Twitch, it's what we're on now. This is a streaming social media. Blogs, you already mentioned, they were essentially, I want to write a public diary. And then those expanded into, we could change your background colors, and we can add pictures. Email is your original social media. And it's overlooked now, though it is actually one of the most effective social medias there are. Yes, Andrea?
But the difference between email and like Instagram, you can be found a little bit easier on Instagram. More people can follow you, whereas email...
Originally, they had white pages for email. Almost 20 years ago, they had this. And then it went away. As social media came in, it was less and less necessary. People didn't upkeep it, and it's a damn shame.
Kind of like phone books are gone now.
Exactly. It's we got one the other day, didn't we? So email, mailing lists in particular, is something else I'd like to discuss today. And there is a bazillion others. There is Snapchat that I still have no concept of how to use it effectively as a business tool.
Well,
to use it for fun. Yeah.
There's a way to use it for business.
There is, and that's already have 10,000 followers plus on us something else, and they all go follow you on Snapchat too. So they get to see essentially.
Well, Snapchat, remember Vines, where it's like 10-second videos?
That's what I was going to go into.
It's kind of like that.
Mm-hmm. So you could do a simple picture, which then, yes, you can add a filter. You can add whatever cutesy filter you have, like giving yourself bunny ears. You can put a stripe across the middle that you can move with text in it to describe or give that one-liner zing. Or you could do a 7 to 10-second video, whatever their limit is, and put that out there. My problem with Snapchat is, yes, you can do that, but it's all temporary. It disappears unless you set the setting where it saves it to your phone also. And then my thing is like, let me use Snapchat and put it up on other social media because it goes away on Snapchat.
Yeah, so I don't see that very effective unless you're like a stripper or something. Here's a tease.
Yeah, it's some people use it effectively.
Not for us.
I don't know how we could use it effectively because we want our material to stay available long term for people so they can go back and, like YouTube, go from video to video to video, or Instagram where you can keep scrolling. And yes, Mo?
One of the things I found with Snapchat, I don't have it anymore. I don't have it anymore. I got rid of it after I got scared. But anyway, that's beside the point. But we used to. I couldn't use it. Yes, Travis.
What do you mean scared? What happened?
Oh no, my old boss that got fired after I left the job. She followed me on 12 different sites, and so I blocked her on all of them. And then she followed my Snapchat, and I couldn't figure out how to block her. I know there's a way, I just couldn't figure it out in the heat of the moment, so I just deleted it because I did not want to deal with her because she made my life miserable.
So we want to say a quick hello to, what was her name? Because I'm sure she's...
No! No! We're not doing that.
Go on. I'm sorry. I was just curious. What? Okay. Snapchat.
But I don't have any more. But one of the things I found is a lot of the more visual people, we're talking like artists, cosplayers, performers, like at conventions, because a convention might apply to Snapchat to have like either a location tag or a location sticker. And so what you'll do is when you're at a convention, you follow all of these people that are going to be performing. And they'll be like, I'm going to be at my booth from such and such to such and such, see all my stuff. And it's really used during events, or that's how I saw it used.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Because that
Makes sense.
That makes me go, maybe that is a tool I can use, and I should reinstall it, because I uninstalled it too, because it was just taking up space. And besides putting bunny ears or a pig snout on myself, I didn't see a use.
There is a use for that.
Because you could also, one of the other things, because Blaze and I were in DC for AwesomeCon, and one of the things, again, I don't have it on my phone anymore, but Blaze was using it for the entirety of the convention, which I didn't mind, but it was one of those things where it's like, I'm in DC, and then suddenly like 12 friends are like, you're in DC, why 4? I'm going to show up, because they're all in the DC metro area, and suddenly we had like 6 people show up that knew Blaze at my booth who bought stuff. And I was like, hi, I don't know you. Oh, we're selling it as if it's Blaze's. It's actually mine. But yeah, give him the money. We'll put it in my cash box.
Interesting.
Well, so it tells location. See, sometimes you don't want your location told.
No, because now they have the Snapchat map where you can pull up the map and it shows where all your people are.
Yeah.
See, I don't post anything on mine. I just use it for the filter. I don't post anything, so.
Yeah, I don't want people knowing where I am. They're like, oh, where's Travis? Outside my window. No. No good. No.
Not again.
And they couldn't just look up and see your face instead. You'll be like,
I'm not an idiot. We know it's dark and they're backlit.
oh.
The only
I
reason
need
they
to
would
close
know...
all these blinds then.
The only reason they would know I was there later is by the lick marks on the window.
Was there a dog out there? Maybe it was like a cow.
And just for the public, I am
We
totally
haven't.
kidding. I don't leave traces of DNA behind.
Yeah, that's just sloppy.
Sloppy work.
Or slobbery. Okay, so let's we've got about 2 minutes before we go into our refill break here. And when we come back, we're gonna hard and heavy bulldoze into different ones. What I'd like to do is start with the ones we find least useful, which we've already kind of covered, Snapchat, and then move into the ones that we just love to use. So we spend more time on those and get the crap. Can we do Facebook here in 2 minutes? Can we cover Facebook? Here, real quick, thumbs up
Yes.
or thumbs down for Facebook?
Oh, no.
Okay. Well, oh, yeah, we're not Facebook fans at all.
They changed the algorithms, so I followed people trying to find things that they do, like makers and stuff, never showed up. And so I know people weren't seeing mine. The algorithms have changed so much. It's not effective like it used to be.
Nope. And if you, for example, if I put up a YouTube link to one of my YouTube videos, and post it to either my regular page or my business page. With my business page, an take you outside of Facebook link will get 1,500, 1,600, 2,000 followers, something like that, on the Talk of the Tavern Facebook page. 7 to 12 people will see it. If there is not a link that takes you out of Facebook, then maybe 20 to 50 people will see it. That's not even 10% of
It's
my
not effective.
followers.
I've kind of uninstalled Facebook. The only thing, it looks like I post on there because I have it linked to my Instagram. So anything I post on Instagram goes to one of my 2 pages.
Yeah.
People see it, but it's not.
Facebook,
I don't like it.
Facebook's a dick, so we don't like him. No, Mo, when we come back from this break here, we're going to let you respond and let us know why you just love Facebook. And then we'll tell you why you're wrong. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. That's all right.
It's just a matter of if you're using it and burning time instead of making it effective for yourself and you just didn't realize it. This might help you go, well, apparently I'm better off if I go use something that's more effective. But okay, we'll be back in a moment, guys. So everybody, Mo, Andrea, mute yourselves, and then we'll unmute when we come back.
I'm good.
Refill what you have while the cast and cohorts and co-hosts of Talk of the Tavern do the same. Now here's the testimony of some of the great people we've had on Talk of the Tavern or previously on Sound of Steam. Enjoy.
This is Gail Carragher, author of The Finishing School and the Custard Protocol series, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Aiden Sivart, Steampunk Indiana Jones.
Hey, this is Scott.
This is Samantha.
And we're Frenching the Punk.
I'm Karen Kay, also known as the Fairy Lady and editor of Fae Magazine and also founder of Fairy Events.
This is K.W. Jeter, author of Infernal Devices and Fiendish Schemes.
Kircher here. I play Bifur in the Hobbit trilogy, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Trevor Crafts, executive producer and creator of Lantern City.
This is Lord Bobbins of Teslacon. Huzzah!
Steampunk Funk Bazaar here, Lord Monty, right in front of your radio.
Hello, this is Professor Elemental. When I'm not taking a bath in gin or trying to invent a new kind of badger, I'm listening. Oh, yes!
This is Stephen Davis of Raising Steam UK, 2-day Steampunk Festival in Reading. Enjoy.
I'm Thomas Williford of Brute Force Studios, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Commander Bob of Victor Sierra.
Je suis la légendaire princesse convertie de Victor Sierra.
Hi, my name is Sarah from Valentine Wolf.
Hey, this is Braxton from Valentine Wolf.
This is Aileen the Peacemaker, the founding editor of Beyond Victoriana, the multicultural steampunk blog.
Hey, this is Joseph C.R. Vortek, otherwise known as Electro Swing Neo Vintage DJ Vortek, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern. I hope you come out of it in one piece. I'm not sure I did.
And don't forget about our other shows during the week. Tuesday, Middle Age Gamers on Wednesday, and Virtual International Pub VIP on Thursdays. Make sure you join us there, 1 p.m. Eastern to 4 p.m.
Hi, my name is Ashley Rogers. I'm the organizer of the Copper Claw.
This is Calamity Dawn, mixologist of Airship Passepartout.
This is Commodore Lorpicar of Lost Saints Curiosities.
This is Jimmy Diggs of the Crypto Historians, reminding you that the future is in your hands.
This is Gabrielle Reel.
Hi, this is D. Clarence Snyder, writer of the Bright Future series, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Professor Marcus O'Bannon, the Chief Scientific Investigator for the Crypto Historians.
This is Lady Gatita of Nerdvana.
Hey, this is Angie Vello from Ghostfire.
This is Hannah Titania, Queen of the Fairies.
This is Jeff Platt of Highland Steamworks.
This is Danielle Ackley McPhail, co-author of Baba Ali and the Clockwork Gin, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern Radio.
Hi, this is John R. White, author of The Tales of the Airship Neverland.
This is Catherine Gleason, author of Anatomy of Steampunk, The Fashion of Victorian Futurism.
This is opera singer Katie Catt.
This is Keith Prusak of Bad September.
This is Captain James Barrington of the mighty Claxton.
This is Emily Leverett, and I'm the editor of Big Bad and Anthology of Evil, Volumes 1 and 2, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
Hola Radio Escuchas, les habla Lady Smoke de Sociedad de Steampunk Argentina y Sindicato Dieselpunk.
This is Melanie Grace with Live Steamy.
We are Warren and Betsy Talbot of MarriedWithLuggage.com.
This is Christopher Meeker, author of Hawthorne, Chronicles of the Brass Hand.
This is Mickey Wonderland, Steampunk Fairy Princess of Wonderland with a fresh cup of Mad Hatter tea.
Hi, this is Margaret McGraw, author of the prompt writing blog writerspark.com, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
Hello, this is Mishkin from Bird Eats Baby.
This is Nim Derringer of Airship Hypatia.
This is Painless Parker.
This is Persephone Burroughs Dimebagger, co-captain of the Airship Hypatia.
This is Psyche of Psyche Corporation.
Ahoy, me darlings. This is Misty Massey, author of Mad Kestrel, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
I'm Ellie Ann from Steampunk Homes, author of Slice of Life and The Silver Sickle. Hope you enjoy the show.
This is Captain Jared Cornwall of the Melanie Rose.
Hi, this is Lucy Luminos with Tinker the Web Series.
This is Travis Fessler, the steam-powered circus freak from the Pickled Brothers Circus.
This is Scott Norman of The Wars of Other Men.
I'm Mr. Cat of the Cat in Black Art, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Wendy Callahan, author of The Cronus Clock.
This is Daniel Burrow, creator of Tefra, the steampunk role-playing game. Cheers and gears and good gaming.
This is Tempest Wolf, actor and producer of Tinker Web Series. Tinker by name, Tinker by nature.
This is Shelley Dusick, the captain of Vandalia Con, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
Did you know Talk the Tavern also publishes books? Make sure you look us up online. We're on Amazon.com.
Okay, we're back. Hopefully everybody had a chance to go get a refill. You know one thing I don't like about Twitch? I can't post a picture of the cats to it.
Oh.
I know. Okay, so Mo, you wanted to tell us why you like Facebook?
I like Facebook because I can make, I can't make, but, when you get a little old lady working for you, Facebook is a dream. So, I'm kind of known at my church.
Uh-huh.
So, it's one of those things where there are these old ladies that they just spend all of their time on Facebook when they're at home. They're, showing off what they're doing with crochet, or they're talking about their dogs or something like that. It's I don't want to say there's no young people on Facebook, but there's no young people on Facebook.
You're not wrong.
So I'm appealing to mostly my mother's generation, honestly, and above.
Right.
But it's one of those things where there's these little old ladies that everyone likes their posts because they're little old ladies. And once you get a few of them who start liking your stuff or sharing your stuff, suddenly you're getting 120. And I'm talking from, my page does not have a lot of likes, but I'm getting, I think my page has 400 likes, but I'm getting somewhere between 120 and 250 views on each of my posts, just because there's a little old lady that's on every day that likes my stuff. And she likes it constantly. And it's... Oh my gosh. Sorry, there's a cat in the litter box.
I know, I saw it. Not the litter box, the cat. And then from your reaction, I figured that's where it is.
But once you get one little old lady that is on all the time working for you, it gets a lot better. And I'm going to be honest, with my newest project, it has a certain place in the hearts of old people. And so I'm getting a lot of people on that page who, or churchy folks, who knew my grandmother and everything. So that page is getting a lot more views than I expected either. And is it the most worthwhile for me? I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that it's working for that project thus far. But one of the things I always run into with Tumblr is that most of the people on Tumblr are so fandom driven. They don't want to see anything original or anything new unless you already have a huge name, or if you bury it in other posts that are fandom. So while that's my generation, people younger in my age, I have trouble getting people to like the original stuff because they go to Tumblr to see their fandom or to see fan fiction, not original stuff. And so my fandom stuff will get, 3,000, 4,000 likes and reblogs, but anything original, it's 10. And you're like, really? You're certain about that? Unless on my art blog recently, I did a commission for it's Pickle Rick from Rick and Morty.
Right.
And so it is fandom, but it's my original art. I did the commission. I made sure everyone's cool with the fact I'm still gonna post it as my artwork, because sometimes you'll get someone who's like, "No, I'm gonna post it." I'm like, "Well, fine, okay." But I posted that, and that got like 100 instead of 10. But I got 100, which is great. But at the same time, you're like who's really gonna go buy a commission because of that? It's 100 likes. Nobody relogged it, so it's not seeing more people. It's people looking for it.
It's the age-old thing. By age-old, I mean, Facebook lifetime. So let me get this straight. A kitten picture gets shared dozens of times and gets hundreds of likes, but I post this really insightful, genius thing, and 2 people like it. The hell?
Yep.
Okay, here's the bottom line. People go to social media to be entertained, not to be intellectually challenged or stimulated. Sad but true. As for getting likes, we have the same issue with Talk of the Tavern. If we went and reposted Jimmy Fallon, sure, that's going to get shared. Saturday Night Live videos, sure, that's going to get passed around and liked because everybody knows that. Yes, Andrea?
The trick to that, which I found, and I've just been posting, so since the kitten pictures and the cute animal pictures get shared and looked at, put your link and your information attached to that picture or the kitten video. I've got a lot of response and
but preferably
a lot better with that.
Your picture, for example, if you're going to put up a picture of Pickle Rick and it's not yours, have a picture of you holding the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you go in there and you put Pickle Rick, Rick and Morty, and all that in your hashtags or whatever, and then, like you mentioned,
people see it.
Then your website also, or hashtag your thing. So, for example, Andrea.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna do that, Mo, and you do the Pickle Rick, yes, hold the picture so they see you've done it, and also hashtag commission.
Yep. I always put a hashtag commissions open, hashtag commission, because on Tumblr they have an entirely different field for it, for all of your tags. Now, some people have the issue, if you're a small enough blog, only the first 5 count in some applications. Tumblr supposedly fixed that, but some people are still sort of glitching on that, whether or not you actually get recognized for anything beyond the 5. So make sure your meaty stuff is up in those first 5 tags on your Tumblr posts. And then from then on out, you can put some of your dumber stuff, which is like, I'll put commission up in the first 5, and then like the 6th one will be commissions open, so it's something less searched, but it's something that still tells someone a very important, because it'll still show up in the first line.
And that's a good rule of thumb. Always put the most important information first, whether you're writing a blog, doing a vlog, doing little Twitter things. Always put the most pertinent that you want out there first.
Do we want to go ahead and not focus on individual social media providers, but let's talk about hashtags. Let's talk about how to start from 0 and get to 60 in less than 10 years. Do we want to go with that?
We can.
I think it's more useful. People are going to love what they love. Now, when we're talking about this,
how to use it effectively is the thing. Yeah.
Your audience on Facebook hates hashtags. That's a truth. Facebook people hate hashtags. They don't know what they're for. They don't understand that's essentially taking this crammed together phrase of 2 to 17 words and creating a search point out of that topic.
Because, if you go on Facebook and you hit that little magnifying glass, you could search for a person, a phrase, anything, and the hashtags will come up also.
Yeah, because the hashtags are actually purposely making that a search term. So if you type in Jersey Shore characters, 3 separate words, you're going to get a search for Jersey, a search for shore, and a search for character. You cram them together and put a hashtag or a pound symbol or a tic-tac-toe board for those that go before, press button phones. It's now searching just for that and only for that.
And if you do that on the Google or anything, it'll search everywhere it finds that hashtag. So if you do that on your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, all of that stuff will pull up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Which Andrea has been very good at. And by the way, hashtags are case sensitive. Something a lot of people don't realize. Andrea and I had a discussion right after she started educating herself on hashtags. And then I went into my Instagram and hashtag Talk of the Tavern, and I capitalized the first letter of each word. And she's like, don't. I haven't been doing it. You shouldn't. And I'm like, meh. And then after doing a search for it with it all capitalized and getting 6 results, and then getting it uncapitalized and it's 64 results, which is what she's posted as. And let's face it, people who are hashtagging are not looking to capitalize. They're lazy little fuckers.
And it helps with the search because they're not going to capitalize each one. Think of the lazy person and make it easy.
Yep. Which, by the way,
although
go ahead.
I was also just going to note on that Tumblr does it differently.
Okay, go on.
Okay.
So Tumblr all of their tagging system actually includes spaces. So you actually have people who are doing that smushed together, people with spaces, people with punctuation, people without. The only punctuation you can't have in a tag is a comma, because that separates tags or hashtags on your Tumblr post. And when you link your Instagram to your Tumblr, it'll import those tags as those single words, and they don't work in Tumblr because Tumblr uses spaces still.
See,
so you'll go in
is...
and change it again. You have to go in and edit your direct feed from your Instagram, go in and edit it to give it Tumblr correct tags, and then depending on how Tumblr's feeling that day and which update you're on, it may or may not actually enter that back into those tags. It might just leave it under the original tags it was fed in with. So whenever I try to make my Tumblr posts authentic, like go into Tumblr and put the picture in a Tumblr post and do it, because when you go in and edit your tags, it'll edit them on your site and for any new people finding it, but not for anything that happened before. It's a time-sensitive thing. Just like if your post is edited and someone's already reblogged it, there is now a version out there that has the wrong stuff and a version out there with the right stuff.
Well, I've found, because I use Google Plus also, not quite as much, but I'm trying. It sounds the same way because they have spaces and it can be different if there's no spaces. So that's a thing.
You'll find a whole lot of people on Tumblr that a 3 exclamation point tag means something very specific. So it's if you use 3 exclamation points on your Tumblr post, that means PSA.
Hey, Des.
Hey, Des, good to see you, buddy. Here's to you.
And it's kind of annoying because you'll have people using the 3 exclamation points later in theirs, and it's just to emphasize the tag before, and it's no. And so some people are using 3 exclamation points to mean one thing, and then whenever you use any other time, you're supposed to use 4, and it's nobody knows the social construct, but there is a social construct.
Yeah.
Where it's if you ask someone what's the difference between a 3 and a 4, they're like, oh, well, 3s are usually these things, and 4s are usually these things. So there's an unsaid rule there, but then you'll have someone come in that doesn't know that and put stuff under the 3 exclamation point or the 4 that doesn't fit there, and it's annoying as crap. As both someone looking for stuff and someone who is typed it all up really quick and then looks at it and goes, darn it. And of course, it's the 5th tag. So you delete the 5th tag, you write in a new tag, and then you slide it up to the beginning. And sometimes Tumblr lets you, and sometimes it doesn't. And
So, I know different social medias have different rules, as we were just discussing. Real quick, what's Twitter allow for hashtags?
No spaces, right?
Yeah, there's no spaces. But are you talking about that or the amount?
Spaces in between individual hashtags, but not in the hashtag itself.
Not in the hashtag.
But how many? How many?
They don't really have a limit, but they have a limit on the characters.
So the more hashtags, the less message.
Yeah.
So
you just have a certain amount of space to do it. So you can do one hashtag that's like takes up all those characters, or you can do 50.
It's also one of the reasons, like, on Twitter, you're more likely to see people incorporate their hashtags into their actual message. So it'll be like hanging out with hashtag Talk of the Tavern, talking about hashtag social media. So they're making it part of the message while still having hashtags. Whereas on, like, Instagram, you can do that, but since there's no character limit, people are less likely to do it. So you just write your message, and then you either put all your hashtags at the end, or you actually enter, and hide.
There's another reason that you don't do that on Instagram, is because with search engine optimization, the words by themselves separate add search value. So if you don't have to incorporate it, you're now getting 2 search terms, the hashtag and then the individual word.
And you can do up to 30, I believe it's 30 hashtags on Instagram. And you can search posts by hashtags on there, or I found Instagram is the most effective with hashtags.
Yeah.
And when you type it in, it'll come up the way I do it. You do hashtag and you start typing it, and it'll tell you how many posts. And you go from there. So if there's 11, you're like, oh, maybe I need to change the word. But if there's like thousands, you have a better chance.
So Des says, I see a wall of hashtag text on a lot of text a lot. No, you can't type, dude. Totally. But we know what you mean.
A lot.
And that's something I was going to bring up, is a lot of us find that block of hashtags fucking annoying. Now, the other side of that coin, and then I'll let you two go back and forth on it, is just because it's annoying to some doesn't mean it's not an effective search tool to help your product or brand be found, or your topic du jour, as we change topics every day. If we totally relied on just people searching for Talk of the Tavern, but to bring new people in, social media, hashtag social media is a good one today for us. Whereas yesterday we definitely wanted hashtag electro swing, and tomorrow we definitely want hashtag trans rights, because depending what we're talking about on any given day, we want to pull different people in and hopefully keep them around. So what's your thoughts? Hashtag wall, pros, cons?
Well, here's what I found as a pro for the hashtags, especially on Instagram. Some people, they only want to follow things that have certain hashtags. So it helps them. So it helps you to promote your commissions or the talk show or Twitch or Twitter, things like that. But yeah, it can be annoying to the average. Yes?
To expand on that first thing you started out with, on Instagram at least, you can now follow hashtags, so it notifies you or puts them into your thing. So you don't have to follow Talk of the Tavern. You can follow bar, drinks, inappropriate behavior, whatever, and yeah. So
I found doing that because people follow certain hashtags, they look for certain things, especially on Tuesday with indie music. Any post that has that hashtag, it gives them new content, and that's how we've got a lot of our listeners, because they're looking for that. So
probably how we'll get a few guests down the road too.
I think it's good for people that are looking for certain niches, but those that just want to see the pretty pictures, it's annoying. So,
Mo.
You can also follow specific tags on Tumblr, so that also is something that happens over there. Although for the most part, people use that for families and cooperatives, if that makes any sense. When people all join a cooperative on Tumblr, so you follow the cooperative tag, so you get up to date on all the people in that cooperative. But what I always try to do with tags is hide them, honestly, because I don't like looking at them. I think it's one of those things where with a watch, you want to see all the gears. They're adorable. They're gorgeous. I want to see the underpinnings. I want to see what's going on behind the clock face because it's beautiful. Hashtags aren't that beautiful. So I hide them. I try to make sure with my Instagram posts that they are at the very end of something. So someone can read the message and then they can ignore all of the stuff at the end. Ignore the words behind the curtain. I don't.
Well, Instagram is kind of the same way because you only allow a certain amount in the beginning, so you have to hit read more for the rest of it. So yeah, I get what you're saying.
Luckily, with Tumblr, it's all up to the settings the user decides. In your settings, you can decide whether or not you want to see scrolling tags, which means it's one line and you can scroll through them to read them all. So they're kind of hidden. So again, you see the first 10 or so,
right,
and then the rest are hidden behind. You have to actually scroll to see them. So people who don't want to see them can choose that setting.
Go ahead, finish your thought. Sorry.
Or you can go to the setting where it shows all in a block underneath. And some people actually bank off of having a block because they'll do those first 5 for search purposes, and then they'll put a bunch of crazy ass shit in there like, oh my gosh, oh God, help me, this is amazing, I love this, and sometimes it's hilarious, and then other times it's like, nah, I just want the scroll. And sometimes I'll go in and change my settings on, just depending on my mood. Like, I don't want to see those blocks of text today, so I go in. On mobile, it's just a click. It's a switch on or off. So.
I think it's generational also. I remember in the late 80s, they started the ticker tape scroll on CNN. In the 90s, they brought it to the Weather Channel. And now you got your screen this big, but you have this big as your commentator, and then you have this down here. You have an advertisement like we have on CNN. You have another ticker tape here, and then you have a block of information over here with stock prices or weather or whatever. So you've got this computer screen full of information instead of a show. This generation has learned to just zone out on the static. They don't see the stuff, they see the one thing they want, but the other information is there, they want it. So the hashtags are like that. It's easy for them to just go, oh, whatever, and ignore it. Whereas the older generations are the ones that find this wall of text annoying. I myself have always, since social media has allowed it, whenever I include a link, I put the most important, like the title, the eye-catching title up top, the body of the text, so that one paragraph, try not to do too much more than one paragraph of information, and then the link, I drop it a couple lines down. So it's not part of this up here. This is what they want to see. This is just the footnote, the reference. And I feel hashtags are the same way. And I do feel dropping 3 lines down gets it out of my face. I don't have to look at it now. I can focus on this. Now, on the other hand, sometimes, probably 5% of the time, reading hashtags is hilarious because people do put shit in there just to make you laugh.
It's entertaining.
What's that? Dick Cheney. Does he do it?
I think it's, hashtag Dick Cheney. I think it's very entertaining. I like to look at hashtags because right now they fascinate me. So.
You are salty, and thanks for the cheer, you salty, salty bastard.
Here.
But, I find... So, for them to be entertaining value and functional, but drop down so they're out of my face if I just don't want to deal with them, let alone changing settings like Mo mentioned, I think they're here to stay, and I think we're going to get to deal with them for a long time to come until people figure out what will happen is they will start offering like Tumblr has, a separate section for tags. And you will have a limit on those. They'll be separate from your message on Twitter, Instagram, etc.
Well, I'll wait till you're done with your thought.
It's pretty much done. I'm trailing off.
Speaking of tags and things, YouTube does that. So you can find certain content.
True.
But when I look at YouTube, I don't see the tags.
No, they're totally.
But I don't really look for them either.
They're totally invisible, and the beauty part of YouTube is you can set up a default video description. So if you have like links to your website and your Instagram, but you also have a default tag section. So you can go in there and add, like all my videos are I want Talk of the Tavern in there, and I want it together, and I want it, I always want my last name in there in case somebody's searching for that as an author, or whatever. Bars, drinks, maybe pipes or cigars. These are things that 90% of my videos are going to have in them. So I want these tagged every damn time. You go put it in your defaults, and then you add the half dozen more that relate when you're actually loading the video itself. So that's convenient, and I totally don't think I'm using it effectively for my videos.
Well, I know.
Go ahead.
When I search with the Google for certain things like makeup or costuming or any of the things that I need to do research on, I use hashtags, and it takes me to the videos for YouTube. But I guess it depends on what side you're on. I think they're effective. But
hey, Mo.
I don't search using hashtags.
Can I tech your screen real quick and maybe give you a little something that'll help you out when you do videos in the future?
Sure.
This is strictly because we're talking about this sort of stuff. Oh, wait a minute. Which version of Skype do you have? Can you get to your camera settings?
Probably not. I'm gonna not lie.
Okay. Can you get to your camera settings over on your Windows toolbar?
My computer's not listening.
Don't worry about it then.
It just deleted it.
That just turns it off. Click the camera icon again. I'll turn it back on.
I don't have Skype on.
Well, you do. We can hear you.
It's gone. My computer is dying again already. I just bought this one, and it's pissing me off. What did you do, Skype?
Stupid Skype made me look bad.
I see you.
There you go. You're back.
I just opened Skype again.
Yeah. All I was going to show you how to do is how to zoom in on your camera. Because right now, just like where you want to make your posts on Instagram, Tumblr, whatever, concise and not too much information, otherwise people just skim right by it. I was going to show you how to zoom in on your camera so it's more you and less background. And this is an effective way to do
this.
That works too. Whereas if you are one of those people that move forward and backward on your camera all the time, are you frozen, Mo? No, you're moving. Don't worry about it.
I'm moving. Very still.
Don't worry about it. But for example, I'll show you this here. Give me a second. Let me pull this up. So
I'll show that on camera.
Hey, how you doing? On the camera, I can zoom in right here and cut out a lot of that background stuff. So if I do this here and okay there, suddenly there's more me, which is not always a good thing to people.
It's always a good thing for me.
You're kind. Don't worry about it, Mo.
No.
I didn't mean to pull us totally away from the topic. It was just one of those things, if we could do it quick, it relates to people aren't watching this to see all my pipes and everything behind me. They're watching it to see us. So by trimming the fat, if you will. That's all I was going for with you. I wanted to trim your fat.
I know, I want to be lean when I die.
So it smokes less and doesn't warn the neighboring countries.
All of my videos aren't like me though on YouTube. None of them actually have me in them. They're all like speed paints and drawing videos. So
Are they really on?
Just when you're outside looking in a window.
You're skipping, Andrea. Sorry. Outside looking in a window. Hold on.
That's because I was. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
See, I'm trying to post updates on social media. I can't do that and be. Sorry, I'll put it down.
It's okay. That
No
tablet
updates
should be
till
charged.
break.
I should be able to bring that in for you. So you'll have 3 machines in there you're using to do one thing.
First world problems, people.
By the way, Des says I'm trying to obfuscate the dead hooker in the corner and the 3 tied up live ones. Yeah, they keep on like, Mister, you want sex? I'm like, no, fucking wash the car. The hell? I got off of sex. I just want you to sweep the floors.
That reminds me, Friday, I'm cleaning my van. Inside and out.
Are you?
Hopefully it'll be nice outside.
You want me to bring out the pressure washer?
No, then it'll fall apart.
I swear it's the rust that's keeping my car together, so I don't wash it.
Duct tape.
Well, where the 2 cars like meet, because it's like 2 different cars pieced together, there's like a rust ring around where the like new hatch is on the rest of the car. And I'm just like, I don't want water in there because like it's rusting from the edge in.
Mm-hmm.
But
wow.
I don't wash my car. It is what it is. It's yellow now from all the pollen.
There you go.
At least it's all one color again.
There we go. Sorry, Des was he was grammar Naziing.
Okay.
So I had to answer in chat. Oh, that's right. You're not looking at the chat there, are you, Mo?
I'm not.
Mo don't care.
If I was looking at the chat, we'd have even more problems with my spelling.
When I said obfuscate, I added an extra syllable. I said obfuscate or something like that. So he broke it down for me. So I pulled up the actual definition with the breakdown. You know, with like those letters with the things above it that you're like, I don't even know what those are called.
They're phonetic indicators.
Yeah. What do you call it with the 2 dots above something?
The 2 dots is an umlaut.
And what is the upside down?
I knew it began with an O.
Or a diaresis.
Okay. And what's the upside down E?
Oh.
Yeah. And what do you call it? You know, you put the straight bar above a vowel to say it's a long vowel instead of a short. What's that line called? That's what I'm saying. I don't remember what the fuck they're called. So I know they're cool, weird names that are fun to say.
Yeah,
I
you
just don't know what they're
should.
called.
Well, I used to spell using them. So
I bet your mom knows what they're called. She knows all the letters.
Yeah, she does. No, I learned when I went to school, they taught me phonetic spelling. So I never had to, for the first 3 years of spelling, you didn't have to spell a word correctly. You just had to spell it phonetically.
Right. When I designed
which used all of those.
When I designed the alphabet and numbering system for my fantasy world, I went with a strictly phonetic alphabet. So there is a character for a TH sound. There is a character for the CH sound. You know, and the vowels all have multiple characters because they make multiple sounds. So, you know, it's like a however many. And of course, that doesn't mean I covered all the sounds in all the languages because there's some sounds that we don't use in the English language. Like ha ha ha. See, that should be its very.
That's not English.
It's in the French alphabet. I think it's just after Q. Anyhow.
It is. Sometimes why?
No, often people ask me why. Why are you making that noise? What's wrong with you? So anyhow, okay, back to the topic. Let's talk social media. Okay.
Not everybody at once.
I could go into this. Like, I use We got about 25 minutes, 20 minutes till our break.
Yeah, you use different ones than we do. Tell us about some of those.
Well, okay, Mo, if I'm correct, we already went over Tumblr, Facebook, and Patreon, which are your strong three, correct?
Yeah.
Now, Andrea, we went over Instagram, Twitter, and did we touch on LinkedIn at all, besides saying it's business social media?
No.
Not really. Now, it is great for business if you are looking for a job, or like with mine. When I got the job as a multimedia consultant, I went on there, and then I got offered jobs from other businesses without even applying. It's great for that. I don't really use
What's that?
I don't use hashtags or anything, so I don't know how hashtags would work for that. I think it's just good, like for Talk of the Tavern.
Uh-huh.
And it's good to get the word out for this business type thing, for connecting your books, the things you write, the videos, to let more higher up professionals see it.
Here's what I'm going to recommend for anybody. If you're going to do social media, choose your favorite. Hyper focus on that one. If you're going to do more than one, don't do more than 3. You're going to spread yourself too thin, and you're going to create a time waste vacuum where none of it is effective because you're not spending enough time on any one of them.
Well,
I'm going to go into the ones that I use now.
Oh, well, just to touch on what you just said,
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that, because you can, but there are ways to link them.
There are, and I love those.
Like I don't use Facebook very much. It's not very effective for me, but my Instagram is connected, so when I post, it goes there.
No, and Des, you bring up a good point there. Unless you make so much money, you have people that do it for you. Absolutely. Or else if you have a fandom, well, where they will run unofficial fan pages, and they'll take your stuff and repost it to other social medias, and they get the following because of your name, then no, it's absolutely could be effective because somebody has enough time to make it effective. Any one of these have their place.
But if you're just starting out or you're on your own, yes, like you said, keep it small.
See, going to talkofthetavern.com, they don't even have an Instagram icon, by the way, because they have where you can put up your social media icons, and they don't have Instagram. I am phasing out of Facebook because for the amount of time I put into it, there's very little return. Twitter is a crapshoot. Somebody might follow you, thus see all your stuff, but then again, if they're not on the moment you post, it's not showing on their screen. YouTube, I like YouTube, I like Twitch, and I like mailing list. Those are my 3 primary. Now, I do have secondaries, but I did this because I went, where is my most effective social media to get the word out to the type of people I want to bring in? B, which one makes me money? Which that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make money at this point in time, make a living entertaining folks and doing what I love. So how's that most effective? YouTube keeps on moving the goal for me, so when I realized Twitch is pulling ahead of YouTube, I went, let me focus on the one that is pulling ahead. Thus, Twitch is my first and foremost. That's the one that's going to get the most attention. My mailing list is second. I'll tell you a secret about mailing lists. If you don't know this, you're going to say, well, that's obvious. But so few people use it. A mailing list is a thing of beauty because anybody who signed up for it, they didn't do it because they're your friend on Facebook. They didn't click like on your Facebook page because they want your information, probably more than half the time. They did it because you sent them a thing and they're worried about you getting pissed if they don't click like. And then they go unfollow the page so they never have to see it again. It's just in the background. They never think about it. With a mailing list, they sign up because they want to hear what you have to say. How often do they want to hear it? Well, watch your unsubscribes. I almost never have an unsubscribe since I have 2 mailing lists, one for the author, one for the show. And I think on the author I've had 3 unsubscribes since I started, maybe 7. but I only have 140 people on it. But if I send something out, 140 people are like, I want to see this. I have an email that I asked for. With the show, which goes out once a week, we're up to 41, I think. And again, not a single unsubscribe yet, because they want this information. This is that person going, call me, when they sign up for your email list. It's a pot of gold. Another way to do it, hey Mo, listen to this one. You don't have to look. You can keep drawing. Just listen. If you are an author on Amazon, go make your Amazon author page. And then go to whatever product you love, not your own book. A book by a famous person who is similar to your stuff. Go all the way to the bottom of that page. Click Start Giveaway. You have to buy that product. And then you create a randomization of how somebody wins. Choosing, is it 1 out of 2 people win, 1 out of 1,000, whatever. You then put a condition in there. For them to enter this, they have to follow you on Amazon. So now you're getting people signed up. So every time you publish on Amazon, they get an email going, Travis published something on Amazon. Don't do this with a Kindle. A lot of people are like, well, with a Kindle, a lot of people will follow. Yeah, but they don't actually give a damn about your book most of the time. They want a free Kindle. So by getting, for me, I write medieval fantasy, a George R.R. Martin book, a Brandon Sanderson book. If I wrote horror, a Stephen King book, and do a giveaway. So there's an effective use of Amazon as social media. And of course, you go to every other social media you have and you post, I have a giveaway. Go, enter. Okay, I went on about mailing list. Twitch, we're here. We kind of know what we're doing here and why we're here. YouTube, with Twitch, as Andrea mentioned, I can link the two. I can export straight from Twitch to YouTube. I then have to go in and add a cover photo or a thumbnail or add the tags, add a description, etc. Whatever else I want, I have to go tweak a few things every time I put one up. But it's still less work, and it's now in 2 places.
It's very effective, though. You don't have that much work to make something very effective.
Hey, Des, if you didn't sign up for Twitch, it's no problem. Just subscribe at the $25 level, go buy bits and throw it, and when you hit the right point, you'll stop getting anything from us. I'm trying to help. Des said, what? We're on Twitch? I didn't sign up for this. And now I have other social medias like Facebook. And by the way, Mo, you were talking about compartmentalizing with 12 different tumblers. Yeah, I have 6 and had 10 different Facebook pages, business pages, plus a handful of groups that I was using. And it just got to a point where I was spending so much time upkeeping these things that were significantly less effective than the other stuff I was doing. I went, time to delete it, because if I have it, I feel like I need to make use of it. So take the stuff out of your house and give it away or throw it away that you're not using electronically and physically.
Mm-hmm. So then you can concentrate on the things that are effective and not.
Time is money.
Time. It is.
Yeah, Mo?
I upkeep those blogs naturally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't use, most of them aren't even, it's one of those things where if I'm going to have, let me think for a moment how I want to word this. Another thing on Tumblr that you'll run into is someone will follow you because they want to see supernatural fan art.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want to see any other kind of art.
Right.
They just want to see, even though you draw in 7 different fandoms, your art is not good enough for them to keep following you if you post in any other fandom than what they want to see.
Right.
So what I do is I have my main art blog, which is Portfolio, where I post all of my artwork. And then I reblog it to whichever fandom blog that it's not hard for me because I do it almost in my sleep. It's not something I'm sitting and thinking over, but I reblog it to whatever blog happens to be that fandom or that following.
Right. That's a great way to do it too.
That way everyone has a singular point they can go to see all of my art. But it also, someone can follow my Supernatural blog, where I'm also posting other people's Supernatural, like I'm blogging stuff, I'm sharing stuff, I'm sharing other people's things and getting them interested in my blog by sharing their stuff.
See,
but then I'm also like throwing my stuff in the mix.
This gets into focusing, specializing versus broad spectrum. When I first started this show as a live show, it was Sounds of Steam, and I got a larger audience quicker because I was focused. It's a smaller audience base, but they're more hungry for the material. When I went to Talk of the Tavern, it is much more broad spectrum topics, so there's a bunch more people I could pull in, but it's harder to reach them because they're not hyper focused, and there is so many broad spectrum things out there. It's a matter of finding the right one for you. And hey, Des, thank you, appreciate that. Need to get off this, have fun, have some bits. Thank you, buddy. Have a good rest of the day. Maybe we'll see you a bit tomorrow. No pun intended. So yeah, it's and this is why I don't do Pinterest anymore. This is why with Facebook, where I was, email list is another place where they tell you, studies show, making a specialized email list for Mo. I'm going to just totally use you as an example.
Okay.
So you got Mo's stuff. It's one emailing list. This is Mo's everything list. But then a special mailing list just for supernatural art, or a special mailing list for transgender-based art or LGBTQ art, etc., anime art, or if you want to, focus even more than that, you have separate lists. And because some people want to see it all, others only want to see one type of thing, like you're saying. And they have found it is more click-throughs when you specialize your lists. More people open it, more people click on something in that email, which that's the focus of an email, is going, here's stuff to click on, go get it, guys. That's a downfall of us putting highlights up instead of regular videos, by the way, Andrea. That's why I've thought of this other way to do it, where we purposely talk for 5 minutes about this topic with an obvious beginning and end of that bit or information, whatever. Because having that same Twitch highlight, this date, this show, and the topic, it's better than just the generic Twitch highlight one I had. But an individual picture with our faces going is even more effective than that. Yeah, it's that thumbnail. It's like a book cover. It makes them click on it or open the book, as you will.
Because that's how I've discovered some great writers, because of their book cover. I'm like, oh, this is neat. Let me buy it and read it. And it was good. So
it's also a way you're getting followers on Instagram. You're putting a picture of you dressed 1930s fashion and putting gin punk or gangster or whatever hashtags you put.
Like today, it was my picture from the party with my elf ears, dressed in my sari, like middle-aged geekery.
Right.
And then second hour, I put our banner, and third hour, I don't know what I'm going to put yet.
It's well, third hour I'm going to discuss our goals for subscribers and everything, which I'm really hoping to. Is Des a subscriber? I think the Star is a subscriber. Thought so.
Yeah, he's very supportive of this show.
Absolutely. And a great addition to our listening, viewing audience. We say after he leaves. So I think with social media, the key is, first of all, pick one or two.
And know the type of audience you want. Know your target.
That's true.
That's a big thing.
Mo,
we don't want anime people. We're not going to target anime people because that's not what we're about.
Well, we want them because our interests lead into it, but yeah, we're not going to target them because they're going to be disappointed and be like, the fuck? But like Mo mentioned, young people are not utilizing Facebook anymore. If we look at teenagers, my son, your son, etc., and as Mo noted, and Mo is just early 20s, yeah, it's not a draw for the youthful audience anymore. It's really kind of becoming bitter middle-aged people. And bitter is, I stress that word.
That's why I'm not on it much anymore, because people are angry.
They
I
are.
want to see that. I see that all the time in the real world.
And they think we give a damn about their petty little complaints. I am very interested in their opinion about a topic, but I don't give a damn about their petty little complaints and their little meh. You know, if you have an intelligent opinion on something, I'm very interested.
And my thing is, when people don't agree with someone and they want to complain and say, "Oh, you have no right to do that." No, just unfollow or delete. You don't have to start.
Well, it's supposed to be social media where you share things and, you know,
have a discussion, not an argument. Yeah.
You know, there's places for people like Lewis Black, who, if anybody doesn't know, is a long-running stand-up comedian that bitches his whole comedy act. There's places for it. It's not on my TV, but it's on other people's, because I don't like that kind of. I don't find it funny or entertaining to see somebody turn red in the face. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's people that pay to go see that, and that's their thing. So.
Yeah. And that's the same for Facebook. You know, if there's groups like that, or if that's what that person's page is about, you know, Mo, I love you, but if you only bitch, I'm not going to keep following you. I'll keep you as a Facebook friend, but I don't want to see your angry tirades about everything. Unless they're comical. There are some people I know that just do hilarious angry tirades, and that it's more than just bitching. It's got an entertainment value to it.
It's entertainment.
Yeah.
Well, I follow like the Daily Otter News. And, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's worth it.
And anything with cats, like little videos of cats or animals, baby animals, because that's mostly what I want to see. Or some of my friends that everything's a pun or a stupid meme.
You know how you could see people first? On Facebook, you can go and unfollow or see their stuff first.
Mm-hmm.
I have 6 people who I see all their stuff first. Every single one of them, on a regular basis, posts puns. Mm-hmm. And when they have an angry post, and on occasion they do, I listen.
Well, one of them, I'm going to call her out. It's Saida, and she is going to be on a show here in June, I believe, because she's a teacher, so she can't be on during the day right now. Her memes and her puns are wonderful. I love them.
They're beautiful. They really are. It's, you know, but for example, your mother, Mo, she posts a lot of political stuff.
Yes, she does.
And she does it intelligently enough that I'm like, no, I'm okay. Whether I agree with it or disagree, and I don't agree with everything, I'm okay with it. You yourself post a lot of the LGBTQ and transgender stuff, and I'm okay with it. Now, on occasion, not necessarily you, but you'll see something like this, which is... See, I'm tangenting. I'm totally going on a tangent on this.
Well, you have 2 minutes. Because then we need a break.
This will be a good 2-minute tangent then, because we could cut it off quick. Because when somebody does nothing but post angry things about how they're treated horribly, or this group is treated horribly, whether it's ethnic, religious,
animals.
Yeah, you know, as much as I love animals and love to see somebody post the animal shelter dog being adopted or stop abusing animals, I like that stuff. But if they're constantly posting pictures of animals that were flayed to death, I'm unfollowing you.
That's a delete right there.
I agree with your sentiment, but shut up. Go ahead, Mel.
No, whenever I see one of those, I'm like, are you getting, it annoys me. I'm like, are you getting anything out of sharing that video? Because, like, that's almost as bad as, like...
It's shock jock.
Anyway.
It's saying the most horrible thing so people turn and look at you. And it's effective when blended with positivity. It's ineffective when you are doing nothing more than standing on your little wooden crate screaming at people wandering past you on the street.
Look at this, yeah.
Well, it's like people will be friends with me on Facebook for years, and then they're like, wait, you're a vegan? Or they'll be like, wait, you don't eat meat? Or they'll be like, wait, you're a Christian? And I'm like, I post that stuff, first of all. Yeah. But second of all, I do it in a way where it's like, take it or leave it. I really don't care.
I think that's
You post it, Mo. You post it because it's a part of you. It doesn't define you. It's not all of you. It's just, okay, this is a piece of me. It's not, you're not like,
yeah.
It's okay.
Very true. Okay, let's go into our refill break, and then when we come back in the third hour, we're probably going to wander off topic unless we feel we missed something. So here comes that.
I like one.
It is. It's fun. We'll be back.
I'm going to mute.
Sit right back and relax, or get up and get a drink and refill what you have, while the cast and cohorts and co-hosts of Talk of the Tavern do the same. And here's the testimony of some of the great people we've had on Talk of the Tavern or previously on Sounds of Steam. Enjoy.
This is Gail Carragher, author of The Finishing School and the Custard Protocol series, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Aiden Sivart, Steampunk Indiana Jones.
Hey, this is Scott.
This is Samantha.
And we're Frenchie and the Punk.
I'm Karen Kay, also known as the Fairy Lady and editor of Fae magazine and also founder of Fairy Events.
This is K.W. Jeter, author of Infernal Devices and Fiendish Schemes.
Kircher here. I play Bifur in the Hobbit trilogy, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Trevor Crafts, executive producer and creator of Lantern City.
This is Lord Bobbins of TeslaCon. Huzzah!
Steampunk Funk Bazaar here, Lord Monty right in front of your radio.
Hello, this is Professor Elemental. When I'm not taking a bath in gin or trying to invent a new kind of badger, I'm listening. Oh, yes!
This is Stephen Davis of Raising Steam UK, 2-day steampunk festival in Reading. Enjoy.
I'm Thomas Williford of Brute Force Studios, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Commander Bob of Victor Sierra.
Je suis la légendaire princesse convertie de Victor Sierra.
Hi, my name is Sarah from Valentine Wolf.
Hey, this is Braxton from Valentine Wolf.
This is Aileen the Peacemaker, the founding editor of Beyond Victoriana, the multicultural steampunk blog.
Hey, this is Joseph C.R. Vortek, otherwise known as Electro Swing Neo Vintage DJ Vortek, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern. I hope you come out of it in one piece. I'm not sure I did.
And don't forget about our other shows during the week. Tuesday, Middle Age Gamers on Wednesday, and Virtual International Pub VIP on Thursdays. Make sure you join us there, 1 p.m. Eastern to 4 p.m.
Hi, my name is Ashley Rogers. I'm the organizer of the Copper Claw.
This is Calamity Dawn, mixologist of Airship Passepartout.
This is Commodore Lorpicar of Lost Saints Curiosities.
This is Jimmy Diggs of the Crypto Historians, reminding you that the future is in your hands.
This is Gabrielle Reel.
Hi, this is D. Clarence Snyder, writer of the Bright Future series, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Professor Marcus O'Bannon, the Chief Scientific Investigator for the Crypto Historians.
This is Lady Gatita of Nerdvana.
Hey, this is Angie.
Okay, I'm going to bring us out of the refill break sooner rather than later because we're here, we're ready. And I don't think we're losing a bunch of
I got a refill.
You know, it's amazing how Wednesday is our lowest viewership.
It's hump day.
But Tuesday is really building, and Thursday is doing pretty well also. But I've got a few topics.
Wednesday's good when we have... I don't know.
Well, it'll grow, you know. And just so everybody knows who is watching, I am planning on broadcasting again tonight. I downloaded a game, Fortnite, which is the hottest game out there right now, and I'm going to go play it and see what it's like, see if I can even stand it, because it's a shooter game and it's competitive and it is totally not my thing, and I'm going to suck at it. I have every confidence, and if I happen to be good at it, I'm going to be more surprised than anybody else. And it's a one-player. Usually when we game, we being Andrea and I, we like to game together. Yeah.
I was gonna say I'll be there. I'll probably be in the background.
Yeah, sitting
showing
there.
my face every once in a while, but I'll be cooking.
I'm encouraging her to sit next to me on her tablet doing whatever she's doing and look up once in a while, and just as I'm yelling or bitching or dying or succeeding, she can comment along however she feels is appropriate, because everything's more fun with Andrea. I just like it better.
Yeah, it is. I'll be there with
especially
snacks.
Masturbation. What? Snacks. Come on. Now, with the refill breaks we're doing, I do have like 2 other videos that I'm looking at making. I'm just waiting for a few more clips to come in from like Ed, so I can include him. But normally
he's like in the woods right now.
He Thursday, leaving tomorrow morning.
Oh.
So I'll have those, and the funny thing is about the refill breaks that we do. I used to be able to run a 3-hour show with no problem. Never had to get up and empty anything that I refilled previously. In other words, pee. But now I am like Pavlov's dog. But when the bell rings, I don't want to drink or eat. I don't start drooling. I gotta go pee now.
Somebody's gotta go potty.
Yeah. And it's funny how, but those same hours a day I'm not on the show, I don't have to pee every hour. Only when on the show. It's funny. And part
You're
of me,
worse than a pregnant woman.
Here, look at that thing I'm using. This is my.
Don't ask about that.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned in the beginning of the show I got a bit of a headache, and I know where the pressure points are that create that headache pain. And between the brandy and the ibuprofen, my head is fine. But the points that trigger the pain in my head are still unhappy. And that's what I'm trying to get at with this G-spot locator that I'm using.
Yeah, it is.
It makes me think of that.
Poor Mo.
I showed Mo while we were
I'm just here for the ride.
Yeah, you are.
It's a good ride. It's a good ride. So Mo, let me ask your opinion on this. So, were you listening yesterday when I was talking about the rotating ad we have?
Yes, that you were going to take it down.
Well, it's because it's one of those things. It's not bringing us. Originally, I put it up with, here's our social media, here's my free books, here's this, here's that. And then I went, let me include the community, bring in the other people who have supported me by teaching me about certain things about Twitch or the equipment or other podcasts that I've been on that I like the people and wanted to support them. And now I'm finding it's not doing anything, which, Mo, as you heard yesterday, it will probably stay up at least till your Kickstarter kicks in, just because you.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's okay.
It's one of those things I can move it to a corner and make it smaller so it's less in the way. But if it's not doing me any good, how much good is it doing others? So again, one of those kind of using what's effective instead of putting so much up there. That's why I pulled the ticker tapes off the top and the bottom, because they were just extra crap on the screen. The chat used to be on the screen that was being recorded, and I don't think anybody was using it. Originally, I did it for our YouTube viewers, and we're not getting that many of them, so we're getting more live. And we read off every statement anyway, so yeah, just cleaning up the interface. And Kitty's staying, though. I like the kitty.
I like the kitty too.
I could do kitty ! Ad, and then it can sit up and go, follow Mo at get a free book.
Cute. That'd make people actually interact.
Yeah. And then I could just change it up as whatever project is on the table right now. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But the bottom line is to have a clean screen that's easy to read. And if something isn't being used, which I guess for that reason maybe the kitty would disappear eventually. But like the tip cup is just a great way to people visually see that they're giving.
I like the tip cup.
I do too.
See, I'm throwing stuff in it now.
You are. There it goes. Whee! See if it hits. Boom.
Your nose. Yesterday it just went.
But as I have pointed out, matter of fact, right before the show, I look at these other streams where people have 5 times the followers we do. But we're matching them for how many people are watching at any given point, if not surpassing them. So this says a lot for our audience. You know, we actually have an audience that enjoys being here and interacting and being part of the show. Oh, yeah, right there. That's it. Oh, yeah. And we do have a subscriber thing going on. We currently have 14 subscribers, and we're looking at, as we grow, giving special events to our viewers that subscribe. Like when we hit 25. Yes. What were you going to say?
No, go ahead. What do they get?
They get you.
What do we do?
We're going to do a tea
For
party.
only 25. No.
We're going to do a tea party. Probably a Friday night thing or a Saturday thing. Do a tea party outside of our regular broadcast. And everybody can come on, tell us what kind of tea they're drinking, and we'll talk about tea and all that. What is that? Oh, is that what that is?
Well, you also did, we have, when you cleaned everything up, there's a bar up there. It's a monthly bit goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that goes along with the cup. It's a visual.
Do you think I should put it under the cup?
Well, that would probably, yeah. I do.
Okay, let's move the kitty. Move the kitty over here into the corner. Take the cup. Move it up just a little bit. I don't even know. What is that I'm highlighting right now? Oh, that's the alerts. Okay, so get the cup. Move the cup up.
Oh, the kitten.
Smidge. And then go grab the monthly goal and slap it directly underneath the cup. And center the cup up a little more.
There we go.
Go.
I think I'm just seeing the delay, so.
Yeah, you are. So you'll see it all move in a moment.
There goes the cup. Oh. Nice.
So we'll do it like that. So yeah, it all works out, and we'll rearrange it and find the best space for it, etc. as time goes on.
It works right now with just 3 of us, but when we have 5 of us up here, you know.
Well, I still can adjust that screen separately. Like you'll see, I just moved you 2 up a little. And with 5 people.
Oh, there it goes. Oh.
I adjust the height of this and that. So it's all good. Adjust at each show. It's fine. Yeah, this helps. When we hit 50
Put that on your notes.
Adjust screen.
Sorry.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
When
we get 50 followers,
we're going to do a story time show. Screen positioning. Hold on, writing it down. So I want to get like Michael Thompson back on and anybody else. It's Mo, have you written a children's book yet?
No. I mean, The Mensch is probably the closest thing, but it's not like a picture book, the children's book.
Okay. But I'll find others. Maybe get Bane on here.
Oh, yeah.
And then Michael and then myself. When we hit 100, we'll do a 12 hours worth of cat cam. Just set it up on a Friday morning at like 9 a.m. and run it till 9 p.m. and just litter the office here with cat toys and encourage them to come in here and do things. Or set up the camera in the living room, because we're in the living room a lot too. So we just have to remember not to pick our nose.
They'll just watch. No, they'll just see them sitting in the window chittering at the hummingbirds.
Yeah, it's a cat cam. It's a cat cam. And when we hit 250, we are going to do a 24-hour continuous broadcast. That's the one I'm really looking forward to. The others were like, I guess we should have something between now and then. That's the one I want to do.
You can do a live broadcast.
I'm curious.
At Retro.
Yeah.
So people can come in and participate live. On air.
There we go.
And then they can see Retro Daddy-O where you used to broadcast from.
Yeah,
Help
support
that,
Jen a
yeah.
little. Yeah, absolutely. It's good stuff.
Because she's awesome.
She is. She's awesome and fun and supportive and genuinely nice. But been burned enough to realize can't be too nice because people fucking take advantage of that shit.
And that's Jen at Retro Daddy-O's in Williamsburg, Virginia. She is on Facebook.
Has all kinds of cool geek products. Fits well with our show. I have offered
And I get to be the artist of the month for June.
At Retro Daddy-O?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they had that. Tell us about that.
She just started it, so she had a whole bunch of wall in the new store, and she covered it in lovely wire. I'm blanking on the name. You know, the wire square grid wall. It's a grid. And she approached me I think at MarsCon, and she saw all my art, and she was like, "I didn't know you art." I'm like, "I art." Hi, I art. And she's like, "I see you in the other room all the time. I didn't know you art." And so she was like, "Well, the next month that we have open that I need somebody is June. Will you be the artist in the store at June? You just drop off your art. We put it up. You leave a few price tags. You leave a few of your business cards. You leave like a little sign with all your social media. And I talk about you for a month and how lovely you are." I was like, "Ooh, I'm cool with that."
Okay.
That's awesome.
You know what? We need...
What?
Do they have an artist for May?
For May?
Uh-huh.
I think so. I haven't been up to see it yet.
Okay.
We need to find... Hey, we'll be there Sunday.
I'm making a note. We'll be there Sunday? Oh.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm just making
So we can talk to her then.
Well, what I'd like to do is bring Jen on the first Wednesday of every month, just for 5 or 10 minutes, to talk about what the artist of the month is.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's because she has definitely supported us and spoke well of either the show or my writing, so everything I can do to help her and support her. Let's see. Hold on. I've got something here.
Oh.
Hold on. I've got to find one that I haven't done before. Here's a classic. So here's a dad joke. Hey, Mo.
Did somebody redeem a dad joke?
No. I'm just doing it because I like them. Hey, Mo.
Oh.
What?
What do you call a pony with a sore throat? A little horse.
Goodbye. That's my turn. You know what? We were talking about people stalking out, right? Where is it?
Technical difficult. Click. I'm sorry. Was that one of? We could do this one instead. We're ready.
Oh no.
Mo, I'm terrified of elevators. I'm going to start taking steps to avoid them.
Oh my gosh. No. No.
See, Travis, this is when you need to hold up your book that you wrote of all the bad dad jokes so people can buy it.
What did the officer molecule say to the suspect molecule? I've got my eye on you.
Where do you find these?
NiceOneDad.com.
Okay. I will avoid there.
That's
yeah,
funny.
they're just, yeah.
So, speaking of social media, are we going to go into our third hour topic?
Yes. Why don't you start?
Do you remember what it is?
No. Is it Pornhub? Not social media.
No, the social media contributes to depression, anxiety, and things like that.
Oh yeah, it's we've been reading up on a lot of this stuff lately, or ran across articles as the case might actually be. And there are studies out there going, well, depression has significantly increased since 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what might be the cause? What was the trigger for this? Okay. And looking at what changed in our Western world, U.S. primarily, Europe also, but not so much third world countries. Or what countries are second world countries? Does anybody know?
No.
I don't know.
I'm not exactly sure what qualifies as second.
I don't know either.
I know first is like with all of our technology, and the poor aren't like the poor in, say, Africa.
Right.
Or
well,
Ethiopia.
I think it also has to do with, how many cars per capita, electricity, running water. In third world countries.
Would it be the UK or something? Or are they a first world also?
They're first world. So we'd be first world. Russia would be first world, etc. China would be first world countries.
I can't really go on the Google to see because it'll mess up my internet, but...
Right. I guess maybe I can.
Do you want me to?
I got it. No, we don't want your computer to break.
Sure?
Second world.
I've got a phone.
Countries. That's true. That's true.
My phone is my hotspot. So.
Here you go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Ready.
Second world refers to former communist socialist industrial states, formerly the Eastern Bloc, territory or sphere of influence of USSR. Today, Russia, Eastern Europe, like Poland, as well as some Turk states, Kazakhstan, as well as China.
So China, parts of China is?
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah. So, yeah, second world countries was a construct of the Cold War, and the term is still largely used to describe former communist countries. Okay, so third world, you have like no running water, electricity for most of the population.
The second world, you have diet communism, which means America should still be there.
Wow.
Or not. That's a whole nother discussion. When should America occupy a country for their own good?
That's another show completely. Maybe on VIP.
Yeah. That's a good point. Hold on, got to pet Otter. He's right off screen here.
Otter. Oh, Otter.
Otter.
It's the best.
So anyhow, they started doing studies, and they found the largest correlation to the rise in depression is the rise of the smartphone, where this is when the vast majority of the U.S. now have smartphones, including under the age of 18. What did somebody say just the other day? The average age of a child getting a smartphone is now 6 years old.
Yeah. Yes.
They're finding, though we're spending more and more time on social media, it actually creates less real interaction. You're still walling yourself off and not participating socially, even though you're on social media. So we do want to point out.
Click and like is not it's not a good interaction. That is not.
Matter of fact, it feeds into just wanting to be liked. It's your whole goal is I'm unaccepted.
Yeah, I mean, if you get the likes, you're like, oh, I need more, so let me keep it up. But if you don't get it, then you're like, oh, nobody likes me. And you can go into depression, even though a lot of times the popularity isn't even real.
Right. Or Andrea and my Facebook would be a horrible social media to follow because we post us having fun, us meeting with friends, us doing things, being creative. And other people see this and go, well, my life's nothing like that. We don't show.
Exactly. Stop it.
Stop being good, nice, fun people.
Well, yeah, I have a lot of people saying, oh, I wish my life was like that. You make it. This did not just happen. It was work.
Well, you
have to decide what you want and do it.
And you have to realize our lives aren't perfect. We still have bad days. We still have bills we pay. We still go to work. We still struggle. We still have arguments and fights and bad days and things that make us upset or cry. We're human. we just don't show that to the world because that's our private business.
That's like most people don't know when my birthday is because it's not on Facebook. If you actually interact with me, you'll know.
Yeah.
Because I see all the birthday wishes to people. That's not sincere. And if I know the person, I know when their birthday is, and I don't put it on Facebook. I send a message or send a card. It's
Mo.
Oh, I just don't wish people a happy birthday.
Yeah, no,
there
you're
you go.
absolutely right. Something I've done, I removed mine also because I didn't want somebody who doesn't speak to me all year long, except for maybe 3 clicks on a post here and there, to wish me a happy birthday. It means nothing to me, and I don't want to have to thank them for nothing. Mo, when's my birthday?
I don't know.
Exactly. But every time we interact, you're wonderful to me. Even if you're in a bad mood, you don't treat me badly. This is my year-long birthday present. You give me unbirthday presents every damn time we hang out together. I don't need you to wish me happy birthday. And if for some reason birthdays are meaningful to you, you will find my birthday if you want to know it. You'll go, Travis, when's your birthday? And I'll go, November 13th. And you'll be like, okay. And that'll be the whole conversation. But you don't need to know it because you're my friend and you treat me well year-round. I don't need a special day that you get to tell me you like me. You do it through your actions. And that's much more
Yeah,
meaningful.
you do.
Yeah. Otter's dead.
So, don't say that, Otter.
Till I scrub his belly and his claws scrape along the table and his eyes blink, blink. Oh, he sighs.
Yeah, I just... People think it's a true interaction when it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get upset when they don't have more of that interaction or it doesn't go anywhere.
And they're not even consciously upset. They don't even know they're upset.
No.
But they are.
And Facebook is like an addiction. I've seen it with people. Where they have to constantly be on it. They have to see what's happening. And if they don't get their fix, they get angry or anxious. And that's horrible.
When you're at a party and you spend more time on your phone than interacting at the party, you're doing it wrong. And we had a party this past weekend, and I was actually very pleased. I think everybody checked their phone at least once, if not twice. Others were on...
Or to Google stuff, be like, oh, here's a picture, here's a this. Yeah, so...
And other people are on a little more frequently. For example, we had one person here who had just gone to a pirate festival, was still dressed as a pirate, and somebody had put his photo as like a Facebook group made his photo their profile picture or something like that.
Of the events, yeah.
Right. So, checking on that, seeing the responses or whatever, I get it. You're following up. It's part of the social machine. Dez was here, and he kept on checking Twitch because Ninja and a few other streamers were doing a charity thing. By the way, in like a handful of hours, they raised almost $200,000 for these charities, which
is awesome.
Jude's Children's Hospital.
Yeah, we'll be doing that one day.
Yeah, I look forward to the day when we can do a charity stream and make a buttload of money for a charity that's worthwhile, and we will choose our charity very carefully.
Oh yeah.
But and for that, he was checking that because he was curious, but he was on the phone for 2 minutes, a half dozen times. It wasn't over the 6 hours he was here. Oh, he checked it pretty good. Anytime he stepped aside, he was pulling out his phone and checking because he was very, very curious and caught up in it, and that's acceptable. You're using it as a tool to find information. Not as I need to socialize, let me ignore people around me to socialize.
Well, I see families or couples out to dinner. Instead of interacting with each other, they're face down in their phones.
Mm-hmm.
I just...
Which
you can sit at home and do that.
Andrea and I have done this on occasion. We will sit down and we'll check and see if we have messages. Or if there's anything pertinent in our notifications. But usually if we're going to stay on our phone, one of us puts the phone down and the other one is like flipping through stuff, sharing it with each other. So it's kind of like watching a mini commercial where we're just, oh, look, this is funny. Oh, look, that's funny. But we try to make it an interaction between the two of us instead of...
Or we're on our phones because we're planning for the next show.
Oh, yeah,
because
we'll
we're always doing that.
My father recently entered the next phone level, if that makes any sense. And it's really weird because both of my parents for the longest time were like, don't you dare use the phone at the table. When we go to a restaurant, the phone goes down and all of this. And now both of my parents will sit there on their phones while I'm sitting there with my phone to the side, flipped over. If it flashes, I'll check, like, is Mickey in distress? Is so-and-so in distress? Oh, it's just a message. It can wait.
Right.
You know, I'll check it like that, but it goes right back over. I'm not there tapping at it. And I have to sit there and be like, Mom.
Yeah, it's crazy how the roles have reversed. Parents used to do that with kids, yeah.
When I was at Mysticon, I'm walking through the hall, and there's a woman who's probably 10, 15 years my senior, walking down the hall with her face in her phone, her 2 teenage children or grandchildren or whatever, late teens, following behind her without their phones. And she almost walked right into me. And she looks up as she almost does this, and I move aside. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, you kids and your phones. In a comedic way, pointing out, we bitch about, oh, these young people. It's not just them anymore. Yeah. Matter of fact, because of how they were yelled at by their parents, they kind of know better than adults when to put the fucking phone away. And when you're in when you're at a building that's a convention and you're walking down the hall with your face in your phone, stop it. You know what? Step to the side of the hall, pull out your phone, post your picture, comment, whatever you got to do. But not walking down the hall. Stop that. There's a reason we have videos of people walking into fountains in malls or into traffic in front of cars.
Be aware of your situation. Yeah, I've seen people not looking and walk into an oncoming car or things like that.
Hilarious as that is, it's really a bitch to clean up.
Yeah, it is, especially if it gets on your car and Yeah.
And also, think about it this way. We make a joke out of that, but if somebody walks in front of that car and the car totally didn't expect somebody to walk right then because there's no reason somebody would, what's that do to the person that hits them? Even if that person walking is totally unhurt, gets up and walks away, what does that do to the psyche of the person driving who had somebody just randomly step in front of their fucking car, let alone if they killed somebody because of it?
Because people say, oh, well, they deserve it getting hit. Yeah. But does the person that hits them deserve the trauma from that?
Yeah, it's...
or the lawsuits from the family and all this other...
What do we got?
Oh.
Well, there we go. Andrew, you look worried. What's the matter?
I'm looking at it. It's glare.
No, I got it. That's just to talk.
Am I on my phone?
You are.
No. That's great.
On a copy of it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sign it.
I'll put it.
It is signed.
There's a glare. I can't see anything.
That's okay. I'm sorry.
That will go into one of our montages for the refill break.
It'll go in the video.
Yeah.
So I should put a giant commission.
Hashtag commission open.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And when you're done with that, we want your full attention for the last half hour.
Okay.
Just because.
Oh, okay.
Just because.
I want to go outside after the show. It looks so nice, except for all the wasps.
I'm probably going to head outside with my tablet and work on dementia, but outside. Nice. Oh, my dad just said he's not coming home today.
Where's he going?
Good for him. Going out to John's house.
Oh, I didn't know he was a prostitute.
Yeah.
Oh, good. It's good to make.
John tried to kiss him the last time they got into a car, and I'm like, Dad.
Well, you know.
Make sure
I'm
all
like, John's been divorced twice.
He's a homewrecker.
I love
That
John. He's the best. No, my dad.
Oh, your dad's a homewrecker. Oh, is he?
He wrecked the home twice.
Oh, is John currently married?
No, John just got divorced.
Gotcha.
Is it John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt?
No.
Because that's my name too.
We call him Stumpster the Dumpster.
The what? The what?
I've known him my entire life. He's like my uncle.
Look at that. Mo's only known us a few years, and we're like parents.
I know.
Because
we're naggy.
That's right, because we're naggy. Because we're like, put your phone down.
Exactly. John's like, I see you have your phone. No, he's actually a really good guy because he like came out and checked on us when my dad was overseas and stuff. So he's like, he knows what he's doing, I think. Does anybody know what they're doing? No.
I know I'm hungry.
I do.
I love leftovers. It's like a meal just waiting for you to eat it. You don't have to.
I never have leftovers unless I make curry. It's the only time I have leftovers.
You know what I should do, Mo? We should have you over for dinner, where I make curry or Indian food, but you give me a full list of what we can eat, so we eat exactly what you're eating.
Well, I could come over and cook for you.
Oh, I mean, you could do that too, but I wouldn't mind.
I enjoy cooking.
I love it. But
I like to eat.
I just picked up a couple seasoning mixes that for Indian food, so I'm very excited about using them.
We have the Bombay potatoes. Lots and lots of it. I don't know if you can eat that. Can you eat it?
From how?
It's Indian. It's Bombay potatoes.
It is a prepackaged food, so we'd have to check it. It's
if it's the tasty India stuff, I can eat it. Almost all of their stuff is gluten-free and vegan.
I think it is. We went to BJ's and there's a case of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know.
I use like when I needed to take something to work, I would buy the Taste of India little packets and then a packet of rice, and that is what I took to work.
Okay, so you can't eat rice because I make the Indian rice. So I actually soak the rice, cook up the onions and the seasoning, and then pour the rice into it and cook it per normal, and then add peas and peas and corn to it. So yeah, it sounds like I'll just have to figure out.
Oh yeah, you could come over for Indian stuff. We could watch some Bollywood. It's great.
I just have to figure out how to use a seasoning mix. I'm used to putting the seasoning mix on chicken, and you can't eat chicken, correct? Cannot.
I can eat it once in a while, if that makes sense. It has to be one of those things I have to plan when I'm going to eat it. So if you're going to tell me we're going to eat chicken when I show up to your house, I don't eat chicken for 5 days before and for 5 days after.
See, I'm wondering if I could cook the same thing, but cut potatoes into chunks and use the seasoning mix on the fried potatoes instead of the chicken.
Probably. Hey, we could try that.
Yeah. I like potatoes. I'm tired of potatoes at my house, but I will eat potatoes. My mom has made potatoes like 5 times in the past week, and I've just been like, no potatoes. I'm tired of
Well,
those
have you had Indian potatoes?
Have you
I have a packet of Bombay potatoes.
Have you? Well, these here, it would be fresh potatoes cut into bite-sized cubes, and then I would season it. Well, first of all, I'd cook it with grilled onions and garlic, and then put a little spot of garam masala on it, and then I would add like a pickled lime sauce to it.
Ooh.
Some new stuff that he's picked up.
Yeah, well, I've had it before.
Oh,
It's just been years since I found
that. I'm so hungry. Stop.
I'm also very hungry. It's
Hey, and then
annoying.
when you come over, we can game. Like we
I
used
want
to.
to game. I want a game so badly.
We can do that like we used to. So silly. It's the date. We'll make a plan.
Yeah. And then if you have to crash here, we got the futon under my son's bed. Or we got the couch or whatever. And we got cats.
We got an air mattress in the library.
Yeah, whatever we need to do, we can figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we could do an Indian food night and then watch Bollywood.
That sounds nice.
Good times. Or we could just watch Star Wars Rebels on DVD. Either way.
We could do that too.
It's like Bollywood. It's very colorful. And what a good plot line. I don't know.
Put the subtitles on, it'll be all right.
There we go. Go through the menu, see if we can put it in a different language that sounds like Indian. Then again, it's a Disney product. They might have like Hindi on the.
Maybe.
I don't know if I want to watch Star Wars Rebels in Hindi. Subtitle it. That'd be funny. The lengths we go to keep
I need a new chair. Oh my goodness.
See, this is why you guys have a better life than I do.
Why?
Because you guys go to great lengths to make life interesting.
We do. It's work, but we walk away with...
I go through great lengths to keep my life. Ugh.
Well, you're still young. Give it time.
We do also, actually. We really aim to keep it drama-free and, make it easy and relaxed. But we know when we're going to do an event, whether that means going to a convention for the weekend or doing a party here or just doing a blanket fort in the living room and a movie marathon.
We do that.
Yeah. We know there's going to be a certain amount of work before and after. There's always going to be cleanup. And that's part of the cost. That's the price you pay.
There's always cleanup because there's cats.
Yeah. Oh, I am so relaxed. I mentioned blanket fort and I'm like, oh.
That sounds like a plan. Blanket fort and food.
I love blanket forts.
You know what? We could aim for that for Friday. We're going to wash both vehicles inside and out and then make a blanket fort. And I'll make enough food that we could eat the leftovers for at least a day or two.
I want pizza. I just want pizza.
Pizza?
I want a junk food day. I want pizza and I want pizza.
And pizza bites and bagel pizza bites and
pizza.
And Hot Pockets, pizza flavored.
Hot Pocket.
And then a blanket fort, and we could watch Spaceballs, so we could watch Pizza the Hut.
I got the vision.
Yay!
Yay! Yeah, it's
That's funny.
And speaking of gaming, I don't know if you know about this, Mo, but I love Berta. She is regramming like 3 times a week your stuff.
Whose stuff? Most stuff?
The Talk of the Tavern stuff.
Oh, my stuff?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, if you go onto Talk of the Tavern's Instagram, you'll see she is regramming our stuff regularly.
Is she? Is that what it's called, regram?
It is. I didn't know that till 2 weeks ago when she started doing. Berta's an old friend of mine who I used to hang out with, and she moved to a different state, and I still harass her and post inappropriate comments to her stuff. But she posts like
I do too.
Possums eating bananas, and she's a big marijuana smoker, so a lot of stuff supporting marijuana legalization and whatnot. But she's just fun and a lot of common interest in what we have. But what I was telling you is I started 2 Facebook message groups recently, and you're not in either one of them. But I'm telling you about them now, so work with me on this. One is gaming. Because I have met a handful of gentlemen who have been gaming for 30 to 40 years each.
Yeah.
And we're all like, oh, we so want a game. And I'm like, we have us. Why aren't we then? So I started a group going, okay, guys, let's put in our schedules, see what day per month, how many times we could set up a game. And I set up a second one, designed the ultimate role-playing game, where I added a handful of guys and gals, peoples, who have played so long, and for example, Jack Berberette, who ran Con of the Mountain, he has made his own Braille gaming dice, and he's marketing them. Yeah. And a few of these other guys have designed supplements or modules or even games. And they and I'm like, why don't we get all of us together, and if we're interested, let's design the ultimate role-playing game, because I have concepts I want in a role-playing game. And I just threw it out there to see if there's any interest. So I have these side projects going on, because, Mo, you know me well enough. I'm always going to be doing more than one thing. Probably
I've always wanted to create a role-playing game. I've always been one of those people who created a world, but then has to when I write, I create a world first, and then, because mine are all like socially driven, if that makes sense. Like I've always been really interested in the anthropology and sociology of worlds, and in the real world. And then when I create like an alien civilization, I create a civilization with a working history, with a social structure and all of that. And then at some point, basically my mother kicks me in the ass and goes, make 3 characters and show off the world.
Let me offer... go ahead. Finish up.
Oh, no. That was pretty much it.
Way I've done it, because of Dungeons & Dragons, I started with players. So I kind of transfer this over to my writing. I start with my characters, and I develop whatever is around them. So maybe it's a large city. Maybe it's, a small single farming town. Well, what does that town produce? Are we looking at lumber and sheep? Are we looking at, they're a larger town, so they're a trade post? Are they a huge city that brings ore in from the mountains? And I start in that one space, and then as characters explore, going outward, I develop the world around them. So, and then as you bring more characters in, you want more than, well, he's a miner. Well, what's he mine? What kind of conditions is he mining in? Is he from a family of miners? Does he just run the trading company going to the mine? And now you have developed a socioeconomic bubble in your world for that character, that secondary character or tertiary character. But now you're creating the world as the characters explore it. And that's how I've done it.
And I commend you so much for that, because I have never been able to do it that way. Oh. I mean, that's awesome.
What I think of it is I think of it as the first world I create is their local environment, their local town or city or whatever they're in. And then I create a second layer to that world. And that works especially for short stories. You can't create a whole world. Well, you can, but perhaps it's better if you don't. And a lot of times with short stories, I take a world already in my head. Oh, ancient Greece, medieval Europe, and I superimpose the construct over the characters. So I have guidelines for their world without having to create a whole world.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at a thought I just had about Andrea's thing. I'm like, you could just have like a slideshow of her like in awkward poses, and it would be the same as
Andrea,
her.
Your camera froze right as you were like this, and it was there for like 20 seconds.
You just need like a little slideshow going,
and as
of her in like awkward poses.
And as I saw Mo start to laugh, I just wanted to say she's really thirsty, because I knew what's
chugging it all.
Oh. No, don't go. There's an awkward position, too.
Oh, my God. Sorry.
You're back and moving normal.
It's not. I'm sorry. I was listening, I swear.
Whatever.
World creation and writing... some people are like, when you create a character, you want to know what its favorite color is, and 3 childhood experiences, and their 3 best friends, even if they're not around it. And I'm like, that's a great idea. I love that idea. I'm never going to do it, though, because that's unnecessary information. Does it influence the character moving forward and their drive and whatnot? Yeah, absolutely it does. But I don't care. And I don't think the readers will either. Now, for a D&D character or a gaming character, I think that's a better idea because that gives you this whole internal world, creating another world, the world of your character's head life experience, which, by the way, I want to point this out. I'm going to show this to you too. I have 2 cameras for those watching. So these are from Jamin. Here, I'll do this. And I'll read them off so you'll get to hear what they are instead of... So showing it to the audience, Jamin, Skipper, who watches the show but isn't here today, I put these on the desk because I keep forgetting to let them know they arrived and thank them for them. And that's something Andrew and I hate is when we send something and get not even an acknowledgement. But the first one he sent...
But I've been putting them on Instagram.
Oh, have you? Okay. On the back it says, I redeem a dad joke.
And tag.
And this says, the abdominal snowman. And one skier is saying to the other, relax, he won't hurt you. He just does sit-ups all day long.
Yeah.
And that's that. And the other one, he wrote, couldn't resist. And it's a picture of Abraham Lincoln with a bird in a dress standing in front of a cage in like a old West outpost. And it says, rare photo of Lincoln delivering the Gettysburg Address. So we'll put that. So yeah,
puns.
And Jamin, even though you're not here, thank you for these. I appreciate it. I will mention again when you're actually on a show, but I wanted to at least be able to say, "Oh, I did. You just weren't here. I haven't forgotten," because I forgot.
Well, see, I usually send something back, but I don't have his address.
We gotta have it somewhere in the Christmas cards or something.
Did it not come with a return address on it?
No,
it's a postcard.
It's a postcard, so no return address.
And I probably have it in our Christmas card list, but I gotta pull that out.
I can go look for it. Now, for anybody who's watching, 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock tonight Eastern, I'm going to attempt to play Fortnite. When I went to check on the PS4 earlier, it had 3 updates to do. I'm hoping 2 hours will be enough for it to do it. And then we'll stream the game, and we'll see how amused we are and how amused you are.
I'm going to take a nap before. I'm going to have to take a nap before that.
Oh, you'll be nice and fresh. I have to get out. Maybe we got snacky food. I don't think we have snacky food. I feel like I need Cheez-Its for that. I don't know why.
We don't have it. We ate them all.
I feel bad, like, just calling out random snack foods in front of Mo, but hopefully it's been long enough since you've had them that you no longer miss them.
I never liked Cheez-Its, so it's okay.
Okay. I tell you.
Oh, I like the ones that are burnt, the toasted ones. Oh, that's my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah,
they cook them twice.
There are so many foods that I didn't like as a child. Like, I would refuse to eat when my mom sent them in my lunchbox. And then when we figured out that, like, I had these things, my mom's like, oh, that's why you didn't like that, or that.
Sure, that's
like,
right.
I used to hate, well, I hated sandwiches. Like, 2 pieces of bread with meat and cheese, I hated them. They were disgusting. I'd rather have rice or leftover stew or something or something like that in my lunch. I hated sandwiches.
Can you eat tortillas?
Not flour ones.
You can eat corn tortillas. Okay, what we might do, if you come over to spend a day and we do some gaming or whatever, maybe I'll pick up a small pack. I don't like corn tortillas. I just don't enjoy the flavor. But I'll pick up a pack.
Do you like
like
corn tortillas, Mo?
I do, but I do them a very specific. Like, I put them in the pan and toast them up more time first.
Okay.
Otherwise, they just break when you fold them,
and they're like rubbery and shit. And it's actually,
if you warm them up, it's a little better.
Okay. But what I'm saying is, I eat more tortillas than I eat bread. Flour tortillas, and I'll make sandwiches on them and just roll it up and eat it, and it's very convenient, very easy, very, So I was thinking of ways to be able to feed you also. I mean, for that matter, you could always take the damn piece of cheese, put a piece of ham on it, a squirt of mustard, roll it up and eat it however you want. I don't know.
that is what I did for a while. Yeah. When my mom was like, this is what we have in the house. Make your own lunch. I'm tired of this. So every morning I had to make my dad's lunch for him to take. And then I turned around and had to make mine. And so mine usually ended up being like 4 ham and cheese roll-ups because I hated bread. The one that I would eat, there was it was like Pepperidge Farm oatmeal bread or something.
I know what you're talking about.
I loved that bread. But it turns out there's more oatmeal in it than wheat.
Right.
And oatmeal's gluten-free. So there was probably a reason why I liked it more than regular bread. But I still avoided it.
Do you like grits?
I mean, one more?
Grits? Do you like grits?
Yes.
And do you like bacon and eggs?
Well, I don't eat bacon.
Okay.
But eggs, yes.
Okay. No, we could feed you pretty...
Eggs and potatoes.
It sounds like we could feed you pretty much any time you walk through our door.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we definitely
as long as you have mustard and grits, I'm good.
I've got multiple kinds of mustard.
I love the face. Most people give me a weird face when I say it.
But grits are like sand to me. I don't like grits.
I like grits. I like grits with butter. And people are like, put sugar in it. I'm like, nope. Put salt in it. Nope.
I like oatmeal.
See, it's almost like the corn tortillas. You know how you're saying they're rubbery?
Uh-huh.
I like my grits so thick that they almost take on that gelatinous, rubbery...
I like mine clumpy. Yeah,
that's how I like my oatmeal.
Yeah. I like it.
I like oatmeal too.
Nice and tight, and where you can actually take a bite, as opposed to when people serve me grits and it's like, I don't know, grit soup. I'm like,
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Fleming.
We have 10 minutes left. Let's talk about the upcoming shows and find someone to raid.
Oh, yeah, the raid. I'm so glad you reminded me of that.
And we need a toast, a closing toast.
We didn't even do the
upcoming shows and a raid.
Okay. Hold on a second. I'm trying to see if we have...
I'm trying to keep us on topic here.
You're doing good.
Well, we could definitely give a toast to tangents.
There we go. Here's a toast to tangents and the beauty of them.
Yeah.
And then after the show, I'm going to make some toast. Here.
And will it be spiced toast and mulled wine?
Well, let's talk about raids
Not
first.
mulled wine.
I think we're going to raid Instant Replay live. Now, as for what is coming up, pull that list.
Because Toei will be off by the time we leave. So.
Yeah, Toei's not on now. Toei's already off. But anyhow, see, and I got a bunch of people hosting other people, so I can always fall back to that, which could be a good way to meet new people anyway. Oh, the Sivart is hosting Lovin' the Tacos.
Tacos.
Tomorrow, of course, we have Mo on once again, as well as Ashley Rogers, my good friend Stephanie, and Silas. And we're going to be discussing transgender rights. Now, my hope in this is to bring some education.
And some humor.
Well, absolutely some humor. But I'll tell you what, Mo, I haven't hung out with Ashley enough and Silas at all. I don't know where their humor lies. I don't. So I'm going to be more cautious. I encourage you or Stephanie to be as silly and as fun as you want, because as a cis male, I am often viewed, that label is often viewed as the enemy. And I'm definitely not, but, if I make the wrong joke, I can suddenly become. So, yeah, I leave that to you and Stephanie. Guide me on that one. It's just like some of the basic stuff. When I spoke to Ashley, Ashley says, I don't want to repeat what I already said on your show, but it was 3 years ago. And so much has changed in the LGBTQ, let alone transgender envelope of the world. What's that?
Past year, so definitely.
Community. Well, just perceptions, interactions. It's different. It has evolved, society-wise, worldwide. So anyhow, yeah, I leave that to you. I'm going to be more straight-laced and asking straight-up questions. Look how bright you are.
Just
Now,
trying
I'm
to
bright
get
like a
it.
diamond.
what's that, Andrea?
Said the sun in you. What?
You froze like this. Now you froze with a very sad face. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. This is a totally, it's great.
Okay.
I love it.
Monday, we have a planning.
I'm turning Twitch off.
No. Monday, we have a planning session on the evening show. So join us for that as we decide what topics we want to cover, mostly on the Monday shows, but we might be coming up with some for the weekday shows also, the Tuesday through Thursday. Tuesday, Feline Lang, straight out of Germany, will be on with us. Wednesday, we don't have a topic or guest, so we might actually get to play Lego Dimensions.
Ooh, I'm so happy because I have new characters.
So, and from there, we'll talk about the rest next week. I just don't want to lap ourselves on topics. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to join us in the raid, etc., etc., etc.
Etc. Throw your bits.
Throw your bits. And to throw bits, if you don't know how to throw bits, go down to your chat box where you type things in. Click the triangle. Oh, I can't share my own thing, so I can't even walk through it. Andrew, you want to do it?
What?
Tell people how to throw a bit.
You can't what?
I can't do it. It's my channel.
Go to your chat box and click on the triangle, and you can watch videos to get bits to throw or spend your cash. Either way, it gives us a little bit of money.
Walk them.
Each bit is a penny. Throw your pennies at it.
Walk them through exactly how to do it. You got to click on something and then change the number to what you want it to be or something like that. Or you can type exclamation point cheer and a number all crammed together.
I don't know how to do that part, but you can go, you click on the bit and it'll say 1. You can change the number there, change the 1 to whatever number you want, and then hit chat. Does that make sense? Am I froze?
Nope, you're good. Not yet. We're waiting.
And it has to be 5 or above for us because we only like the silver colored.
The nickel.
Yeah, different channels set different. Different channels set different cheer amounts. I have seen people who will not accept less than 100 bits at a time. Ours is set at 5, so figure we're gonna hit with your bits. It needs to at least be a 5.
And right now there is a special going on if you've never purchased bits before. What was it, Travis?
$10 for 1,000 bits. Normally you're paying $7 for 500, so this is definitely a good price. And
it's a good savings.
If you're a regular, keep an eye out because every once in a while they will do a Twitch Prime bit special, and last time they had 500 bits for less than $1. And that's worth it.
And if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can subscribe through Twitch Prime at no cost to you. It gives us money. Costs you nothing extra.
And don't forget to follow Mo over there on Tumblr, Facebook, Twitter.
Hold up your paper, Mo.
The grocery store.
Not a grocery store.
When we're at the grocery store, we're usually in the international food section.
You got a Wegmans near you?
Yeah.
No, we do not.
You got to go to the Wegmans international food section. Yeah, it's a thing of beauty.
It's fabulous.
I
it's
suspect
aisles.
My grandfather loves it, and my grandfather doesn't love a lot of things.
Well, there you go.
Hey, Andrea. I just went to my Amazon cart, and there's 2 things on it, and one of them is the Movie 43 Blu-ray DVD combo. Just saying. I'm just saying.
Movie 43 is fabulous.
Okay.
Have you seen it, Mo?
No. I don't know things. I don't watch things.
Google it. Just Google it.
It's horrible. It's inappropriate. It's juvenile and stupid and hilarious.
You'll love it. I think you'd love it. Hugh Jackman's in it.
Oh, well,
Halle
then Nikki
Berry's
probably
in
has it.
I don't know. A lot of people don't have this one. Okay, so I'm going to set us up here as we go out with 45 seconds left. Some closing music here.
Thanks for joining us in the discussion.
And let's set up a raid.
You are the one thing that makes the show what it is. Don't forget to join us at the tavern next week. Until then, have fun, keep learning, and be good to one another. Now, raise your glass in good cheer. Enjoy the small moments every day and steamy dreams every night.
Set up the raid too late. We're still on. Hold on. We're going. And enjoy IRL.